can see the battle lines. I can feel the fire when I'm breathing, waking up the giant that's been sleeping. Playing this game for a reason, been playing this game. Never say die, never say die. You're gonna see me standing with my fist in the sky. Never say die, look into my eyes. Yeah, you know that I can see the future gonna rise. Never say, never say. Never say, never say die. Harder. Gonna prove I can do it.
That man right there, EK Capalot, if that same guy turns up every time, you stop him.
You know that I can see the future gonna rise. Never say, never say. Never say, never say. Mountains will rise to challenge the strength that resides, but they don't know the heat of the fire that made me so cold on my crown. What you leave it hands empty. No patience, 'cause this is my target. Determined I won't be deprived, but I'm feeling the beat of my feet on the pavement. The thrill of the chase, yeah, it's not for the taking.
What is good, you beautiful bunch of savages? It is Primetime 85. Joining me in the commentary booth for this historic card is the one and only J-Dime and the ever mighty Mr. Humbledink. How you doing, lads?
We are doing excellent, Cyrus. It is PT85 J-Dime. We are excited. I always say this was a big card on as well. UFC's on tonight. There's something in the air, J-Dime. There's something in the air tonight.
Man, I'm excited. Not just because of PT, but yes, because PT, but everything's great. We got PT, and it's going to lead into the main card with Vol and Islam. Like, today's just a great day, Humble.
100%. And what a title fight. You've probably just seen that beautiful intro we just had, Cyrus, the little trailer we had for the Caliber versus Capalot main event. The Xbox Championship is on the line, and these two gentlemen have had an absolute brilliant season, and it all comes to this.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Absolutely. KM Caliber absolutely smashing it out the park this season. Always been a top contender, but, you know, of course, a former champion as well. So the bright lights are, you know, something that he's very, very comfortable with. But EK Capalot has not tasted that gold yet. But as you saw in the highlights, and as I mentioned, he is unstoppable, brother. He has been running through his opponents. He's been calling out for this title opportunity for a few fights now, and there was a bit of a backlog, you know, due to the kind of depth of the Xbox division, but he's now earned that opportunity. He went light heavyweight, which I know that KM Caliber was not too pleased with, and you never know how that plays into the, you know, the fight going into that main event there. But it's not the only fight, Humble. This entire card is stacked top to bottom. B3 GOAT now. First fight under B3, going to be taking on one of the regulars in the UFC 4 community and fast rising star under Primetime CV. Brother, that co-main event is fire.
Absolutely GOAT. Both these kind of friends as well, I believe, J-Diamond. Like, it's going to be interesting because it is the #1 contender spot. You got CV undefeated at the moment, wanting to obviously redeem from what happened before. But GOAT, your previous client, J-Dime, is now B3. He's going to be wanting to get himself essentially a title shot.
I like the move to B3, even though he left NBK. They got good players. B3 got a lot of killers he can train with. There's a lot of styles he can go against. You got the likes of Bang Bang and many others in there that he can learn from and get even better, improve his skills even more, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure. Like B3 have been, you know, a really kind of dominant camp within the UFC 4 community, getting really, really good results for quite a long time now. And GOAT, you know, obviously a long-standing member of NBK. I'm not sure, pretty sure he left on like good terms with them. And you know the score, man. He's been there for so long. He's been training with those guys. Maybe he just needed a different look to try and expand his game. And he's been a top flight competitor, so it's a great signing for B3. But Obviously, the man, the myth, the legend himself, CV, currently undefeated under Primetime MMA, one hell of a rising star, and he's going to be putting all of that work on GOAT and seeing out who comes out on top here. But it's one hell of a fight, and obviously the winner of that does get to challenge for the PlayStation Championship next time out here, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to be a great fight because it keeps moving around that PlayStation Championship. One of these guys, it's what a great time to get a championship, you know. Some people can't hold it at the moment. They've lost it, and you got Kai losing it, and now it's everyone's having kind of a turn at doing that. So if I'm GOAT, I want that. But look at the card so far. It's Naz versus Trixie. We've got there Dirty Dave versus Blackout, Kai versus Liam. You know. Former Million, Blake's fighting Amazon, Desino versus Toasty. The card is stacked. Look at them early prelims, Cyrus. Look at them early prelims. They're brilliant.
Yeah, for sure. And just as a quick sleeper, Blake was over the moon with that booking with Amazon when it got announced. He was out there thanking everybody on the staff, saying that he's been waiting for this fight. Brother Amazon, he's a vet. He doesn't like to take that sort of thing kindly. So I can't wait for that one, brother. Low key, one of the kind of like sleeper fights on this card. But as you rightly said, the prelims, even on themselves, and the early prelims are phenomenal fights. Raw Matrix is up first, up against Balon, and these two guys have been around the scene for quite some time here, Jay. As we've seen them perform in the past, absolutely phenomenal competitors.
Whoa. My bad. I just seen the ping jump to 5-something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope that
it's
doesn't.
good now, but it just jumped up to 5-something a second ago.
We'll see how it is. It might be the one-off, but
Someone was downloading a game. They're good. They're good.
Matrix is proudly representing Canada. That guy wears his heart on his sleeve. One of the guys who in other esports leagues has literally beat everybody when everybody seems invincible. When people are on huge win streaks, that guy comes in out of nowhere and beats people. He's got that in his locker. He's got that ability. His toughest obstacle to overcome, J-Time, is himself, essentially being consistent and keeping it going. It's a difficult thing to stay focused constantly 100% of the time.
Yeah, being consistent is a skill in itself because anybody can be good for one night. But when you're able to put them wins together and string it together, that's when you become truly great, Cyrus.
Oh, definitely, brother. Exactly right. And these guys now have an opportunity to do that in this point of the season. Get onto that winning trail, if you will, and start to run away with it. There's still a few events left in the seasons, respectively, for PlayStation and Xbox. So try to make that final run. And if not, out here, Humble, get yourself into that top end to be in a position for the Grand Prix to start out the next season.
Yeah, definitely moves quickly. Raw Matrix, a former top 15 PlayStation competitor, finished in the Grand Prix, the third position in the Grand Prix last season, and that's really important as the seasons go by. These guys are getting used to that. But Balon has actually got the more experience this season, J-Dime. He's got 11 fights under his belt, and Raw Matrix with only 4. So Balon's going to feel comfortable in here. You can see it quite early as well. He knows his positions. He knows where he wants to be. He's doing well.
Yeah. So do you think the lack of not experience, but the lack of activity for Raw Matrix is going to get to him, and he got to get his feet wet? And never mind. He doesn't. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Never mind.
Brother, this guy is an absolute killer. He just destroyed that head health in moments. I mean, Balon somehow survived for at least a second.
Oh my gosh. It's over. That looked too easy. The rage quit. That looked too easy.
Do you know what we should do? We should do for rage quits where the rage quitter gets -5 points and the person who get rage quits against gets +5 points, because it is great, Cyrus. But then
that looked easy.
That was great. Matrix just steamrolled it. I don't know.
To be honest with you, Humble, that's a really good freaking idea, bro. We might just do that. No, genuinely, it's a good idea. It's not the end of the world from obviously that end, but it does take away from the from the competitor who got that W. There, couple of moments in the limelight, if you will, as they kind of ride and get their hand raised, with and so on and so forth. So, bit unfortunate, but nevertheless, bro.
Oh no, I love it. I love rage quits.
I mean, look, Matrix now, he was ranked number 45 in the PlayStation division. That's going to give him a nice big jump. Round 1 finish, bro. I mean, I wish I could give him more points for it being within the first 2 minutes, but yeah, I mean, that guy came out there to perform here this evening, and he starts the night out well, bro. It moves us on, though, Jay, to the next one, and that is going to be the last fight of the early prelims. That is Naznim up against Ed Parker. Everything I hear about Naznim is a he's a phenomenal competitor. I've never personally had the opportunity, I believe, to call his fight or to fight him myself on Xbox, but I hear he is a really, really tough opponent. And Ed Parker, currently undefeated, had his debut last time out. Gets the opportunity now to go 2-0 and maybe to start that rise within Primetime MMA. I think Naznim is a fantastic opponent to kind of test that now early on this card.
Oh yeah, Naznim is a great. This is a great fight. Ed Parker's had two difficult opponents. For his first fight, he had a really difficult fight. Essentially, Jay Diamond, that person, the person who took him to like the third round, and eventually Ed started doing really well. And I think he finished him then. But he's going to be fighting another guy who is really, really good and underrated in the community. Essentially, he's on a positive record as well in primetime.
Yeah, that's crazy because Ed Parker can't overlook his opponent based on everything he accomplished, because Naznim is here to take his head off his shoulders, Doc. I said, Doc, why is Doc's name on the screen beside
always comes.
Hey,
it says Doctor still.
Oh my God.
That's my bad.
Someone in the back's getting fired tonight, I'm telling you that, guy. Someone in
Your
the
name
back
isn't Doc.
Fire me, bro.
That person is gone. No, I'm joking. Well, here we go. Anyway, I just wanted to point out, before we go ahead, he's got Ed Parker has picked up Swanson. Now, Cyrus,
yes,
how
sir.
do you feel about that?
You know, bro.
Now
You
I know
know.
what you look like.
What do you mean, who I look like?
You look like Cub Swanson.
You think I look like Cub? Well, you want to say I look like Cub? People, some people say I look like bloody what's his face? The other featherweight, Cater. I don't see it. But
You like Calvin Cater with Cub Swanson head.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I honestly believe that the pick here for Cub Swanson, obviously I use him a lot. It is a tough matchup to go up against. He's a beat player. The range can be difficult. The trip is obviously there if he wants it as well. But Cub Swanson is really good at being elusive, making sure that he kind of explodes and lands combinations. But you have to be defensively sound, Jay, because he is definitely a hammer, not a nail. He can't take damage. So getting worked on the ground like this, or maybe even, if he takes too many shots on the feet, it's not going to allow him to survive for too long.
Yeah, this is what I think Zabit needs to do, because fighting against Ed Parker, he likes a really clean fight. You got to make it a full MMA match, and that's what he's doing. He's putting him on the ground. He's not respecting what Ed Parker's done, Humble.
That's it. You got to do that at the same time. You can't be sloppy. You can't everything's got to be perfect. You can't be making mistakes against Ed, because now he knows what you want to do. He was going to strike with you for a period of time, and he would have pushed that out till the end of the fight, Cyrus. But as soon as you start grappling, do not mistake Ed Parker for just a striker. He's a brilliant grappler as well. His predominant skill is striking, but at the same time, he can grapple. He's trained with the best people in the world.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And look, one thing I will say about Cub Swanson, everything I said about the hammer and nail and everything else, and I know he's got some, submission losses on his resume, but he has a sneaky jiu-jitsu game. He has the rubber guard that, quite honestly, is terrifying. And the same can be said about Zabit. When you get in that rubber guard, I think that it's a bad position to be in, bro. The rubber guard is low-key one of the most dangerous positions in the game to attack that head health.
Facts. Yeah. And my bad, Humble, but I wanted to point this out. Zabit is too slow with his hands on this game. I'd give him at least a 90 speed. Cause he has like an 87 speed and like an 88 power. Like, come on, UFC. That's bad.
Yeah, his skill often comes from his straights as well. Like a lot of his straight shots, he's very long, so he's straight. He reminds me almost slightly like the John Jones, the Israel Adesanya sort of picks. The reach on this game really does affect the sort of speed certain shots come out and the body type as well. But he's got such an arsenal of kicks and different things. We're not seeing a lot of that at the moment from Naznim. Maybe that's due to Ed Parker's sort of punishability again, essentially, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing I'm really liking from Ed Parker right now is he's utilizing body work really effectively. And Cub Swanson players, some people pick him without maybe knowing who he is, just because they like the fact he has a high switch stance and he's pretty fast in the division, one of the lower rated picks. But he has some really phenomenal body work IRL and obviously in the game as well. I'm not sure on the exact kind of stats on the kind of movesets that he has, but it's got to be highly rated because, of course, the game does somewhat follow their style in real life. But doing that is going to allow him to get himself ahead in the fight. Of course, Zabit is a really good recovery. And with the grappling being mixed in, he's kind of finding himself in some really dominant positions. But it's how long he can stay here, Jay.
Yeah, he has to do something with this grappling right here. This is a dominant position. There we go. Trap him inside control. That's what he needs to do because Ed Parker wants to be a clean fight. So Naznim doing the right thing, Humble.
Yeah, he's chipping.
Nice. Oh, yeah, huh? them
Ed
traps
doesn't want to be
cycles.
there. Obviously, he wants to try and get out of this position and wants to make it. He's very nice in the clean pocket area, you know, on the outside and when he's countering. But in these positions, this is a way you can neutralize him, as you guys have pointed out many times. Naznim aware of that. He's trying to utilize his grappling, and he's doing a good job so far. Minute and a half into the round, Cyrus, and Naznim looks like he's getting the momentum.
Yeah, and he's not even used the what some people consider cheesy trip. He's done this with genuine shots. Tuck his licks on the feet, was able to work his hands in his own right, and finds himself in a really dominant position here. I think Ed's going to be trying to time that get up from this position if he can get like the arm trap, sort of thing. But obviously, this is not a great round for him now. It's been about 2 minutes into it, and still find himself, in a really defensive spot.
Yeah. If this continues, Zabita's gonna win this round. And you said that cheesy trip crazy because I wanted him to do that. I wanted him to Sotogari him. That's the crazy thing.
That timing on that there when he went to essentially move. Naznim was ready for it, got a nice position, and now he's just kind of smothering his opponent, staying on top, staying a blanket, hip on hip, not giving him much space.
Yeah.
On jiu-jitsu and grappling, Cyrus, it's all about controlling your opponent's hips, essentially. You control the core. If you control the middle of the base, essentially, you control the body. So he's doing that very well.
He's got Cub Swanson flat on his back. Unloading combinations there, Jay. Head health, not in a great spot for Ed Parker after that flurry, but he is not out of the woods yet. There's still 1:20 left to go, and if the last 3 minutes are anything to show by, he may have a long 1:20 at that.
Yeah, I know this hurts your heart to see, Cyrus, because you're a Cub Swanson guy, but Cub Swanson, and he's back up. Never mind.
So he's got a minute to win the round, essentially, if he wants to try. He's going to put himself in a dangerous position. Patches him clean right there. Got to do a bit more on that, J-Dime.
Yeah, but if he gets a stun, he's stealing this round, essentially.
Mm-hmm. One thing, bro, I'm telling you, Cub Swanson, he is about that beautiful destruction, my man, and he may get it right here. Cut from a different elk.
This is why Naznim's been taking Ed Parker down. This is the exact reason. The clean striking at the end of the round. The round, obviously, in my opinion, went to Naznim, and it's either 1-1 or 2-0. It's a dangerous time for Red in this third round, Cyrus.
Mm-hmm. It is. Going into this third one, and once again, that trip is there for him, and I would expect it now to be employed in this round because he is potentially up on the judges' scorecards. He knows if he can get this one in the bag, he will be. So, a lot of respect. He understands the danger that Cub Swanson, Ed Parker presents on the feet, and he's not going to want to stay there for too long, I would imagine, Jay.
Yeah, and I think it's 1-1 going into the third, so this round is important. You can't, nice takedown defense. You can't sit here and relax. You got to take that victory because you don't want it in the judges' hands. Be real humble.
Yeah, of course, you don't know. The third round's the most important, in my opinion, always. So it depends on how whoever gets a big third round, the judges can I've seen it sway the scorecards in a certain manner. The way you can be winning slightly in the first and then lose it due to the third. So beautiful work from Ed right there with the striking. He's going to catch him here. Nice work for Naznim not to get dropped there, Cyrus.
Yeah, the flurries are starting to come through. Naz is trying to go in, but the problem is now that these are no longer as well set up as they previously were, Jay, and as a result, Ed Parker can see them coming a mile away, being able to stop the last two that have come his way. Like we said at the end of the last round, it felt like a long time for Cub to be on the ground. This feels like a long time for Naznim to be on his feet.
Yeah, if Naznim can't get him on the ground, that Osotogari is there, humble.
I think the time as well, he can't risk it. If he thinks he's 2 rounds up, he's going to go for a nearly perfect time takedown. Ed Parker is now onto that. He now knows he's going to try and punish him, coming out of the clinch right now. Essentially, he might have 230 to win this fight. J-Dime, so he needs to get a move on.
Man, listen to me. Naznim, if you're here, this is a good round. Winner takes all. Right now, Ed Parker's up. Sotogari him.
Good point. That is a good point, Cyrus.
I will say to you, I just saw Sabit land an uppercut moments ago as Cub Swanson was ducking. There was almost a rock. The head health for Cub is no longer fantastic either. So, my God, bro!
Was that a rock? I didn't even know.
No, he was just having no stamina.
Oh my days.
Oh my goodness.
Pacing him.
This is where the punish for Cub is there for him. But oh my goodness.
Why he eat that? Like he just ate that. Like Cub is just looking at him like he didn't get kicked.
Building up to the end of the fight right now, and this has been a good one. It's been a back and forth war. There's been some good IQ, good tactics in this fight so far, and now we're seeing a real push.
Oh my!
It's robbed. That's gonna change things.
Oh, he got too overzealous and got pulled elbows. He got too...
Psych.
Bro. 2-0 Ed Parker, pull elbow from the jaws of defeat. Beautiful destruction once again, my man. I can't believe it. Let's go. Let's go, bro.
That's amazing. Ed Parker's a legend, man. 2-0 in prime time at the moment. Positive words. He seems, honestly, Ed Parker that I'm seeing right now, on a day when he comes in and talks to people and the interactions I've seen with him so far, he seems like a young man who's kind of coming to his own. You know, he's happy in life, it seems, and Ed Parker's just positive vibes throughout. And look at the performances, a fun performance and a beautiful knockout to end its house.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's come into primetime MMA with the exact right mentality. He's been, you know, like I say, doing the bits inside and outside the cage, man. Honestly, I haven't seen this guy take a step wrong yet. And if, you know, this performance is anything to tell by, I mean, he's quite clearly got that dog in him. He's willing to, you know, go there to get the victory after a really frustrating second round. We've seen many people fall and, you know, fall victim to that frustrations in the past, but not Ed Parker, my man. He sticks true. Even when he's getting tuned up a little bit on the feet, he pulls it back and lands that elbow. I'm excited for the rest of the card. I'm excited to see what he can do in the future.
Yeah, 100%. I want to make one more point here, Dan.
So glad
he's now 2-0, and his main character, as everybody knows, mostly a lot of guys in the community do it, but Ed's notoriously known for going for the notorious one, Conor McGregor. So it's going to be interesting when these weight classes start favouring him and he can start picking his character that he likes to use. That's going to be when the Ed that we all know is going to come out. It's going to be interesting. Yeah,
because he's known for being a notorious Conor McGregor. He's probably the most famous Conor user, right? But so it's going to be trouble for people. But I'm going to take this to a different note. If I'm Naznim, I'm mad at myself. Because once you stun him, he's like, I thought I could finish him. And then he gets pulled. Because he started throwing all them round strikes trying to get a finish. And he got caught for it. If I'm him, he got a lot he can learn from that. And he's going to be back stronger than ever.
Certainly, bro. He put on a really good account of himself. I mean, he could have potentially won that fight moments away from it, right? So just a little bit more composure, something that Volkanovski, you know, that we're going to see a little bit later on tonight, does so well, is he takes that fight IQ and he doesn't lose it through his emotions in the fight or in the kind of momentum shifts that happen. Sticking true to what you came, you know, what got you to the dance and the skills that you have often is what allows you to elevate your game to that next level. I think that's what Ed did right there, and he walks away with a victory as a result. But it sets us up beautifully there, Mr. Humbledink, for the next one. This is the first fight of our official prelims, and it is ranked number 38, DB Logical, up against ranked number 39, KM Winter. Welterweight is the division, and from what I'm seeing, it has all of the hallmarks of some absolute fireworks, my man.
Yeah, it does. You got Conor McGregor on the left-hand side, and you got Jing Li Lang on the right, Jay Diamond. That's going to be an interesting one. In my opinion, Conor McGregor might have the superior boxing, but what does Jay Li Lang bring to the table?
He wears nice suits. You know, at the press.
Nice guy.
No,
he's a nice guy.
No, he has all jokes aside. He has good boxing. He has good striking, but that's Conor McGregor. I don't know if that's the best pick for against Conor.
Well, we're about to find out, bro. He's 1-0. Jake, he's 1-0 on him, right? Just one second. Hold your horses. This is not That's not KM Winter, bro. There must have been a change-up at last moment notice. It's Jakey, not KM Winter. I've just heard from the back. It appears, apologies, KM Winter has unfortunately got lost somewhere. And Jakey B, the man that got knockout of the year last time out, has come out to this one looking to get another highlight finish to his resume. Can Logical answer the call? We're about to find out, bro.
That's an interesting fight, and it's interesting, Jay Dan, that they can get people to fill in as replacement as somebody's walking out for an event, you know, and they just switch them. The old switcheroo in the crowd. Someone from the crowd jumps in, or some a competitor jumps over the ropes and just jumps in. Interesting as they're coming out for the fight that happened.
Man, Jing Liang is looking good right now, and I'm about to call him Jingling. I'm glad I got his name right, Cyrus.
Oh. Yeah, it's I'm honestly a little bit concerned for Jakey. Jakey's like used to be a grappler for anybody that didn't know, but he's shown some really real high-level adjustments to his to his striking repertoire, and he's been knocking people out left and right, both with flashiness and some really solid fundamentals. But Conor McGregor, even in this welterweight division, with the speed and the power that he has in that left hand, is troublesome, and I just don't know if Jakey's going to have the speed to kind of catch him to be able to answer him back.
Yeah, exactly. He's using his jab really well. Oh, look, nice work from Logical right there. Comes over the top, and he's using his distance really, really well. J Dime, the movement he's trying to make. He missed, Jakey B missed, and essentially countering back. But I'm waiting for that big shot to land. It hasn't quite landed yet, but you can see it coming.
Yeah, and we can complain about this Jing Liang pick, but at the end of the day, it's not, what's the word? It's not the wand. It's the wizard that's wielding the wand, Cyrus.
Oh, wow.
You been playing Hogwarts by any chance?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
That's the best analogy I've ever heard.
No, it's a good one, bro. It's a good one. You've been playing Hogwarts? That's the only thing I'm
That's
mentioning.
the best one. Oh. I'm putting that in a promo, J Dan. That's hilarious. That is something else. But we'll continue. Nice work from Jing Liang. Holding the center of the octagon though at the moment. Jakey catches him with a big shot right there. Comes back up. Not quite catching each other clean yet, Cyrus, but it's coming.
Look, right now, he is making some real good adjustments. Both guys are cut. Both guys are bloodied. They've taken a fair amount of shots so far. But as you can see, they're both still willing to, kind of let those bombs fly in the pocket. It's quite surprising, especially from the Conor McGregor, who just switched stance. Jay, tell me, what do you think about an orthodox Conor McGregor?
I hate to see it. I don't like, it's just seeing an orthodox Conor is just weird to me. Like, it throws me off. It's like seeing an orthodox Nick Diaz, but never mind, it works.
Yeah, I was going to say he's seen something. It's usually an entry shot. Like your entry is usually the reason you switch stance. If you can't quite find your range and you're not landing with the first shot, or it's not quite working, switching up to
oh
Jesus! And
What'd you say?
His hands up. Yeah, he puts his hands up. I still was right though. He gets into the entry by doing that. Said again, best switch back.
He best switch back. I mean, goddamn. He was safe for 4 minutes 30. He switched stances and he got that shit landed on him. I'd be a little worried. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, that. Hey, hold on. I just read something in the chat. We need Humble to go bald. That's what we need. We need Humble to go bald.
What do we have? What
That pigeon scout in the chat saying that, bro. Why is everybody comparing me to every bald man that's ever lived? Like, I'll channel my inner Volk, bro. That guy's gonna win me a bet later. That's what I hope.
I don't know about that, but
I know.
I would but I would bet that. I told people if they're gonna bet Volk because of the odds, just in case.
Oh yeah. You just got to. Oh, nice work. Straight down the middle. Jakey B coming out firing, logical.
Oh, nice job.
Trying to hold the center of the octagon. He's staying in southpaw. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes him to switch, but you can see he's getting caught with that rear hand at J-Dime.
Ooh. Yeah, he got out of there too.
Yeah, by the skin of his
I think
teeth.
Conor need to stick to the basics too, because Jing Liang is hitting him with the jab at will, and he's taking them jabs on a block. He's not moving his head or nothing, Humble.
Yeah, he's not, and he's getting peppered for it. He's still landing. I can see. Oh, there's a big shot there. Logical has to be careful of that. The reach. He's using his reach really well. He's throwing a lot. Cyrus. He's giving a lot to essentially McGregor to deal with. And then he catches him. Goes against the fence. He's got him in a dangerous spot. He's chasing him around the octagon right now, trying to get the finish, Cyrus.
Yeah, Jakey B has gone for an accumulative approach here this evening, and those shots are starting to add. Sits him down.
Conor, no.
Blocks it. One shot could end it, and he survives. Gets the underhook back to half guard J-Time.
Yeah, this hurts my heart for Conor to be going out like this, man. The sport doesn't need this, Cyrus.
Yeah, continuing to offer up our legends onto the mantelpiece.
My God.
He is being sacrificed by
Catches him.
Jakey B here this evening. Oh my god. I don't want to count him out because we saw what happened in the last one, but right now it's not looking good for Conor.
I'm about to count him out. Never mind. You can't. Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow,
Never
didn't even.
hey, his shot didn't do
crazy.
anything.
Yeah.
His shot didn't do anything.
Didn't even land apparently. Jesus, I'd be mad if that was me.
Oh,
He
Conor
gets
has
back
a
on the
chance,
track.
though. He has a chance.
the 2 minutes left of the second round. It's heated up. This has been a close to getting finished a few times, Cyrus. Brilliant from both guys. Jingle Line catches him, and Jakey B is holding the center of the octagon and holding this round so far.
Oh,
my
Connor!
goodness.
Oh, Connor, it's not over. Hey, we're in a war. We're at war.
Oh, not anymore.
Never mind, the war's over.
He still had head health there.
The war's over.
Great stuff.
Wow.
Great stuff.
Wow.
Look, I want to say something real quick, because obviously Jakey did fantastically, and we're going to talk about that victory for him in a moment, but all respect where respect is due. His opponent, DB Logical, took that fight against Jakey on 0 seconds notice, man. The guy was walking out. No, he was in the cage when he got word.
The other guy was... No, he didn't get word. He just thought he was fighting the other guy. He just fought him anyway.
Jakey just turned up instead, like, do you know what I mean? He was in the cage. Jakey walks out and he's like, oh shit. Goes down with it. But no, seriously, Jakey, I think... I'm not sure where he's ranked this season, but he's always about that top end of things. And obviously for... That fight, to be as competitive as it was for so long, Logical showed that he belongs, and I'm sure that guy's going to be rising up the rankings in the near future, but Jakey, bro, he does it again. Another knockout on his resume for a guy that was known for picking ankles. He's now known for breaking jaws out here, Humble.
Yeah, he is. A great performance for him. You know, he got knockout of the year last season, and it was, well, last year essentially, for last season, and it was a fantastic knockout. But he keeps providing and giving us performances like that, Dan. That's going to get him noticed and get him bigger fights throughout, and I want to see more of Jakey B.
Man, Jakey B looked like a man possessed tonight. Like, it was a war, but Jakey B seemed to have the upper hand. Even though he used Jing Liang, he still had the upper hand, and unfortunately, he put Conor McGregor out of his misery.
Well,
He did.
Well, Humble. We move up a little bit. So it is going to be Bone doing work, a man that until recently was on a killing spree and quite honestly was ahead in the fight until Bang Bang managed to corner that cage and find the finish. But he is now looking to bounce back here this evening up against the one and only anime expert. These guys have been pretty prolific this season. They've got, I think, a combined record of maybe like 25 fights this season, which is not too bad. I mean, they've been pretty active. I think that's over 50% of the events these guys have been competing on. Yeah,
exactly. It's going to bring to the nerves to be steady. You know, they're not going to have too much unfamiliarity, J-Time, so they're going to know exactly how this is going to feel. So they're going to come out and kind of perform. It's going to help their performance, essentially.
So are we getting Darren Till versus Jorge Masvidal? Is that what we're getting?
I hope so.
I wouldn't mind that rematch either, because that was a good fight. Darren Till dropped him a few times before he ended up getting put out of his misery when Jorge Masvidal was on that run, Humble.
Yeah, it was a big time for Darren Till. Look like the controller had been disconnected. Please reconnect the controller.
He better reconnect that fast. If I'm his opponent, I'm knocking his head off his shoulders.
Darren Till might be making quick work.
Okay. Oh, no, he's here.
Oh, he's there. He's there. I'm a bit good about that. I like it when there's a bit of tension. Here we go. Bone doing work on the outside, Cyrus. Starting to utilize the jab right there, but you can see that he's not going to be taking too many steps forward. Anime expert coming after him with Jorge Masvidal trying to control the center, but getting caught and paying the price to do so.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Jorge Masvidal can control the center of the cage and start to press and close off the angles against Darren Till, he can set him up for some of the cleanest boxing in this division. But if he's unable to, Darren Till, with that kickboxing routine, is going to be able to have too much range to move back into out here. And you know that Bone doing work loves to do it out. Jay, he is a counter fighter at heart, and he's going to be looking to use that cage. It's all about the cage cut for me in this one. Can Masvidal make this entire kind of space feel claustrophobic for Bone doing work?
Yeah. Anime expert has to keep his composure. He can't get frustrated by the movement of Bone, because Bone like to frustrate people with the movement, kickboxing, mixing the leg kicks. And if you're not disciplined, he can catch you, Humble.
Yeah, he can catch you. Nice work. That's what he tries to do. He tries to frustrate people. He's got more of a boxing mentality when it comes to outside work. You know, he really sticks on the outside, really tries to put up in point spars, essentially. A bit of a Wonder Boy Thompson type of character, but he gets caught big there, goes to the leg. Nice work from Anime. Good adjustment to start to kick the legs, Cyrus. Cut the angles, kick the legs, and essentially affect the movement.
Surprised he didn't get a rock right there, but no, you're absolutely right. He's being fundamentally sound right now. He's got a number of checks in. When the leg kick is coming his way, he has timed a couple of good shots himself. Bone doing work, also adding up a number of combinations, Jay, that And obviously we can't see it, but I imagine they're gonna start. They're gonna start doing some real major damage to those legs, at least, of Anime.
Yeah, and this is, if I'm Anime, don't get frustrated because them little oblique kicks, them little shots are messing him up, and it's going to start to affect his leg, like you said.
Yeah, he's going next to the body as well. Kicks into the body, goes with the hooks. Starting to really try to land shots from the outside. This is going to give an opportunity for Till to come down the middle, which you can see he's doing, trying to do effectively. Big shot right there. Anime Expert start the time. Barrett's heating up. Kicks his leg, Cyrus. Now he's on his back.
Yeah, he's up in his tempo. He's trying to catch Darren Till. A little bit cold right now. And Darren Till comes to life, man. He's answering back with fire meets fire. As we know, though, Jay, right? He's only going to do that to get the respect from Anime. And then he's going to go back to his counter-striking, kind of picking apart approach. I honestly like what Bone Doing Work has been doing on his most recent run within Primetime MMA. This adjustment to his style, this elusiveness, although a lot of people are kind of, really up in arms about it at times. He makes himself a difficult man to hit when he's really sticking to that game plan.
Yeah, people really do hate Bone, and I feel like a lot of the reason is people want to see like a high action fight, and he's fighting on his back foot using his defense. So to them, it's not a war, so they're going to hate it, Humble.
Yeah, exactly. There's comments. There's so many comments. Reminds me of I was at Vuk Gaming before as well. You remember Vuk Gaming when he used to get like a lot of hate?
Oh, they used to hate him.
Yeah, it's one of those things where people don't like your player, starts to go after you, but then what does that do? It encourages you to do it more because you know you're frustrating people. And that is the job of the player. I'd find it frustrating, J-Time. I know what this is like. So, but it's up to Anime Expert to find a solution to that. It's not unbeatable.
What do you mean you know what it's like, Humble? What be happening to you?
Let's not get to that.
Oh, nice. He needed that. Oh, how he eat that overhand like that?
I don't know, bro. Darren Till's been somehow conditioning his chin because Anime Expert hit him everything, including the kitchen sink, but somehow he was able to withstand it all and now trying to answer back with some combos of his own. Some kind of murky waters right there for Bone Doing Work, who's starting to feel the pressure out here, Humble.
Yeah, he is. He's starting to get cut off, but he's still sticking to the game plan. And with this sort of style, Jade Dime, it can change. Like he can change the fight, and even if he's losing, he can change it in a second because it takes one overly thrown shot from Anime for me to be countered essentially from Bone Doing Work.
Oh, wow! And here we go.
I'll shut up.
Yeah, you gotta shut up. And Mazel Dog's winning this now too. So now I think it forces Bone to not be able to be comfortable on his back foot. Now he got to do something, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. Bone Doing Work not in a great... Oh, he gets caught with another two-punch combination. The second punch partially blocked. But as you can see, Anime Expert seems to be really settling into his own here. Got a bit of a lead, and you can see that the momentum is filling him with confidence, and I feel like that's bringing out the best version of him, at least at this point in time, Humble.
And he's getting Bone to lead as well. If you look where Bone is, Bone's in the centre of the octagon throwing shots. He's getting Bone to lead and then countering those shots. Faking. He's holding the centre of the octagon. He's using backwards and forwards movement with a bit of lateral when he needs to. And he's not kind of following Bone around. He's picking the centre of the octagon. Doing really well. And finishing him essentially against the Kenny Cyrus.
Yeah, what a combination to sit him down, Jay. He was not able to get him out, but he is not out of the woods quite yet. The pressure's still being pulled on by Anime Expert.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my
Love it.
Yeah, this match may be over. Oh, my gosh. It's over. Sheesh.
That was a really good performance from Anime Expert. That was a fantastic performance. He had a really tricky opponent in front of him, and I felt like he did everything he possibly could to get a finish. And as soon as he possibly could as well, he put it on him.
Oh my goodness. And Anime Expert, bro, what a standout performance for him. That's the best I've ever seen him compete. He's been around the scene for a little while right now, but I feel like he truly rise to the occasion. He was obviously taking Bone Doing Work very seriously. The footage, clearly indicates that Bone has a game plan to his recent performances, and I feel like he made the adjustments here, Jay, and I don't know this for sure, but if he did watch tape, I think that it kind of reinforces that you should be doing that when your opponent's been an active competitor. Try to get some reads on them, because it looked like he was well prepared for that performance.
Man, Anime Tidy did a good job of landing strikes and landing them leg kicks to to alter the movement to make him have to stand still, and he took advantage from that, Humble.
Yeah, and he was landing. He was faking the leg kicks, going to the head with a straight, coming back with a hook. He was doing all sorts of different sort of setups and making his opponent come to him, knowing he was ahead. He was smart moving. He wasn't just following and shadowing his opponent, taking shots and someone's kind of backing away, setting traps and putting in the pocket for you. He did a really good job of overcoming that. So you know that's a skill he has as well, James Dine now. So anyone fighting him in the future has got to be careful of being a counter strike, because you know that anime expert is used to finishing those types of people.
Man, I feel like Bone, people hate Bone's style, but I feel like sometimes Bone need to make it more offensive. He got to make an adjustment if they take his legs away at that point, because he can frustrate you, but now once you take advantage, it's up to him to do something.
Yeah, for sure. He has like a, you know, obviously a frustrating style. And if I remember rightly, I could be wrong, because Bone's been around for a good while, and I'm sure he'll tell me in the back if I'm getting this wrong. But he used to mix in some grappling as well. And you know, when that counter routine's not starting to not work, maybe shooting a takedown, mixing up some clinches could really interrupt his opponents. But you know, obviously he's had a mixed bag of performances with it. When it's gone his way, it's gone really his way. But as you've seen here this evening, when somebody's been able to make that reach like anime, you know, obviously it's been a tough old time. But either way, we move on very nicely back over to the PlayStation division there, Mr. Humbleding. It is going to be between Blick and NM Mikey. I don't think I've seen either one of these guys compete before.
Yes, you have. You have seen Mikey competed recently, yeah.
Okay,
Mikey,
my bad. And Mikey, I thought I might have, but I didn't remember.
Mikey's
Dang,
changed his name
Mikey.
as well, J-Dam.
Dang, Mikey, he don't remember you.
Do you say he changed
That's
his
crazy,
name?
Mikey.
Yeah, well, he changed his name like a while back, but it used to be Million. So,
Oh right, yeah, I know Million. Yeah, there you go.
I
See?
thought
There you go.
Liam was.
Oh yeah, Liam was Million. Who was?
Sure, what is wrong with
see,
people?
I'm
They
gay.
both have
This
similar
is
names.
why I get
We
We
confused.
literally watched Mikey.
They're both from the same
Oh my
previous camp,
gosh.
though. They're both from that camp. They both like know each other. They both fight very similar. So, and then Mikey, he's a beast, and he got a massive win last week. I think he got a knockout of the night, or was close to getting knockout of the night, if I'm right.
Well,
He's literally been looking good. Like, this
look, my apologies. Okay, it's been a long old 48 hours. We've had burst pipes and shit around the house. So
Fine.
no apologies to the NM crew. We didn't mean to get you wrong, but either way, we are about to see, and he's going to make us remember here this evening. I am sure.
Dana White, remember my name, Dana White. This is the legendary Dana White.
The Dana White that needs a Stockton slap. He needs a 5-star Stockton slap. But using Dana White is crazy on this game. Because you don't want to beat your boss up.
He's about to power slap somebody into next week. I would imagine, bro. Cannoneer, though, that guy swings bombs. Dana White is like an odd pick in this one. You really don't see him too often, but his boxing, he's given himself like really, really high level boxing.
Yeah, but Cyrus, it's not about the wizard as the watch. It's the wizard analogy, Cyrus. All I'm saying, the wizard analogy.
He's going to steal that from now on.
Yeah, no, that's the best thing in the world. I couldn't remember it. But yeah, it's nice. Cannoneer, though, J-Dime is 98 power. It's going to be difficult to get past that.
Yeah, Jared Cannoneer hits like a truck, so you can land a combo on him. If he lands one shot, it may put your lights out for good. Kind of like Anthony Johnson in a way.
R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace, Rumble.
Oh.
Nice work. If Dana White had a beard, he'd look slightly like Cyrus. Nice duck there from Mikey. Nice work. And we're going to do it all night, Cyrus. Compare you to other bald men.
Do it, brother.
It's exactly what we do.
I'm going to do a Where's Waldo, but instead of Where's Waldo, it's going to be like Where's
Well,
Cyrus?
Baldy.
And Where's Baldy? That's even better. I like it.
Nice. Oh, nice work. Catches him. And he's got to be careful of those. If he takes one from Cannoneer, it literally takes one shot. Mikey's got to be careful.
Yeah, I just can't believe y'all are over here comparing Cyrus to every bald person ever.
Since the dawn of time, J-Time. I'll take it, though.
It's crazy. I don't remember you with hair anymore. Like, now I'm getting used. I don't know what you look like with hair anymore.
Did I have hair, bro?
I don't know. I think it was an illusion.
Yeah, it was. Oh, shit.
Whoa!
Dana White!
Fighting Mikey. Remember the name, Cyrus. Remember the name, Mikey. And last week he got something similar with the body knockouts. That's what he did. It was last week, Cyrus, that he was the first highlight package with those body knockouts where he would slip left and right. Beautiful work from NM Mikey.
Well, my deepest apologies to Mr. NM Mikey as he comes out here and gets another big finish. It would seem under the bright lights of Primetime MMA, he will be moving up those rankings, and my God, I will remember him next time out. What I will say though, Jay, is that Dana White was a ballsy pick, and he didn't really let Cannonier get into this fight, so that's a stand-up performance for him.
Yeah, I don't know when Dana White unlocked them attributes. Like, I didn't know Dana White was fighting like this. He could be world champ.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in that boxing gym, bro. He's been working on those hands quite clearly. It's an incredible pace set by him. Mr. Humbledink, that was a very fast fight. We were not expecting, of course, to be burning through that in a minute, or a couple of minutes, I think 3 minutes in the first round. So we are going to actively move on to A2 Active and Bossman. I believe these guys are back over on the Xbox side of things. Currently ranked 29 and 30, so very, very close in the rankings, these two guys, and obviously have an opportunity now to separate themselves from the rest of the people in that sort of point base in the rankings.
Yeah, definitely. Both have the same record as well, so it's going to be interesting to kind of push yourself forward. In 29 and 30, you propel yourself towards that 20th position, J-Dan. The top 20 guys in this are no joke in the Xbox or the PlayStation division, so whoever these guys are good, whoever wins out of these two has got no easy fight afterwards, but it's getting to that point, getting to the next spot so you can prove yourself against another guy, and both of them have positive, really good records at the moment.
Jeez, this is an interesting matchup because Dustin Poirier, even though he's featherweight, still has the 5-star boxing. It just his health stats suck, so it may take a little less to hurt him. But then Zabit don't got power at all on this game, Humble.
Yeah, he does. Well, we seen it earlier on. I can't remember when there's a big fight earlier on, but it was you seen the sort of hands.
He lost. He ended up getting pulled.
Well, Bossman needs to go take Zabit to not Norton 2 essentially, but the Active is coming out fast there. He had I don't know if you've seen it, Dan, but I was concerned for his stamina. He was throwing way too much.
Yeah, he probably had to get the jitters out. He started a little too fast, or he just wanted to knock his opponent head off. One or the other.
Well, there's going to be a starch power disadvantage, and you would think the Zabit is a bit faster, but...
Oh
my!
Hey, thank you. Hey, I was about to say, are you going to keep getting punched or are you going to spear him? He's losing stamina because he's throwing a lot.
Yeah, and that's a big denial as well, Humble. Side control can be an abusive position to find yourself in, especially if that first denial comes down. And he's already rained down so many elbows, he has sliced Dustin apart, and there is blood all over that octagon, bro.
A lot of people could finish the fight in the first exchange because they're just focused on it, and it looks like Bossman's one of those people. I thought he got it. I thought he got the crucifix there, but he didn't. Gets back to the thing, but he's not near the cage. Kind of needs to go for the get up, and he does. Gets it, J-Dan. Massive.
Yeah, well, Dustin has wasted a lot of his stamina within the first minute of this fight. I think he needs to slow down, just compose himself, regroup, because he's fighting too fast, Cyrus.
Yeah, he is fighting at a bit of an emphatic pace right here, and that could get him caught. He's not going to have too much stamina. DB Active has fought a lot in the past, bro. I'm surprised he's coming out with this style. So just maybe he knows something about Bossman. I don't know if these guys have maybe come across each other in the past, and he feels that he just needs to turn up the pressure. But you can see that, the damage is starting to get through that nose of Zabit. Is not looking fantastic, but that's why he continues with this grappling onslaught, Humble, which has been very effective across the last couple of minutes of this fight.
Yeah, it hasn't. This is what's going to keep him ahead in the fight. They're mixing it up to be able to edge out the damage and the sort of floor aggression as well. J-Dan with the ground and pound, and he's doing a really good job right there. Active goes. I'm sure that was a sort of power get up where you kind of press R1. I think is R2 to kind of utilize more stamina so you get up, and he gets it. But at what cost, J-Dan?
Man, I'm really worried about Dustin's cardio already. We're in the first round. And why does Zabit have a lot more cardio than Dustin?
It's due to what you were saying earlier, bro. It's the combination. He has not stopped throwing punches. When he's been on the feet, he basically throws whilst moving. He throws whilst defending. I don't know. He's been throwing at every single second that he possibly could. And when he finds himself a little bit gassed, Zabit just seems to take him down and really start to control the fight a little bit. I think this is a really smart approach from Bossman, and maybe a little bit of a... overzealous first round for A2 Active out here, Humble.
Yeah, and I've got to go back to one of the former champions' points in the chat. The technique on that takedown in the single, the way he times it, the way he goes through. Dirty Dave would be proud, essentially, Cyrus, because the way he does it. And look at the ground and pound coming in now, but some of the techniques that he's got nailed down are immaculate. And a great first round, for my opinion, for Bossman.
Yeah, I mean, statistically that was actually very close. Statistically, other than the ground control, in terms of the total strikes and significant strikes. But we know watching that round that was a Bossman round. He was able to control for quite a good period. He landed a good number of combinations, and he's going to be feeling confident coming into the second round here, Jay.
Yeah, but if I'm Dustin, oh nice. If I'm Dustin Poirier, what adjustments you think he need to make, Humble?
It's got to be utilizing your jab and making your opponent miss. Your opponent has a lot of kicks, a lot of tools to play with, a lot of things that you can use for vulnerability to try and get a rock. You've got to find the range that he can use them in and try and tempt him into using them. You can't stay in boxing range all the time, because Zabi, when he's throwing those techniques, he's going to leave himself vulnerable. So you have to give him an opportunity.
Beautiful rock and sit down by Bossman as he gets the high amplitude takedown there. I mean, just this is not looking good for Dustin Poirier, and he's putting himself in a worse position because I don't feel like he's adjusted his output in this fight. Jay, you know, he came out into that second round much the way he started in the first one, and I feel like that's really kind of the tale of this fight so far. It's what's put him in these dire positions. You know, it may get him the finish ultimately. We don't know. Still a lot of time left, but his stamina is definitely burning quickly.
Man, I don't know, Dustin. He looks really bad right now. He already started to fight bad when he wasted his stamina. Now he's wasting more, and he's on the ground. I don't know what Dustin needs to do, Humble. What does he need to do?
Like I said, he's got to get back to his feet first of all. At this moment, the crucifix is not where you want to be. These elbows are about to come thick and fast. You can see the patience of Bossman, and as multiple people have said in the chat, this is going to be a finish from side control or crucifix, and that is what it's looking like right now. Active. Is it Americana? Is that right? Americana?
Yeah, this is. I mean, he bailed on it, which is the correct move because he wants to keep this crucifix. Okay, and the longer you stay in the crucifix position, the higher your GA gets, and until you reset with elbow. So he is just going to be in a, as you can see, ultra dominant position. Is able to get out surprisingly enough, but he's still in a really fucked spot, Jay. He's not in a good place.
He's got a hand though.
Yeah, he got to do something because you want to fight on your feet, and he's not going to let you up. So he needs a solution here.
Gets back to sprawl though. That's what you need to do at the moment. If I'm, that's one now is going to bang the body as well. You know, try and do it, but he's decided to keep the body lock and try to ride it out. Gets him back to his back, pulls him down, gets the hooks in, and now he's in another under dangerous position essentially. Cyrus, and he's going to get back to Mount. You don't want him here. You do not want him here.
Exactly right. The head health is eternally blinking for active as well, so these little bunny shots are going to add up. But when he postures up just like this, not too many will be needed for him to go night-night, Jay, which is what happens right there. Bossman was able to work his way to an emphatic victory after, you know, his opponent coming out of those gates freaking hot, bro. He came out of those gates real hot.
Yeah, Dustin didn't have a chance. That's what it looked like. What Zabit did to him was a masterclass. Striking, grappling, the whole 9 yards. All realms of MMA, he dominated, Humble.
Yeah, he was really good. He calculated, really high-level fight IQ performance from Bossman, starting to make himself one of the top competitors in the Xbox division, and he continues to rise, Cyrus, and you know, he's going to get a huge fight in the next one. It's going to be interesting to see how he performs and if he's going to change his game plan, because I'll be looking for that same fight level of fight IQ in his next fight.
Yeah, he's going to be 3-1 right now. He was ranked number 29. It's a big win for him. He gets a finish, so it's all those extra points going to go in his favor. But, you know, I'd imagine that he's going to be calling for a top 20, top 15 fight in this next one, and like you say, that is really the launching platform to get yourself really and truly recognized under this banner of Primetime MMA. Get yourself onto that main card, earn your way up those rankings, and then try to secure yourself, like I said, that opportunity at the Primetime Gold later on in the season, if you can keep that winning streak going, which, if that performance is anything to show by, Bossman may be a problem for that Xbox division. But with that all being said, we have two veterans of the scene actually. Kenmore up against Evo, especially Evo. He's been around for a long old time. I'll throw it back to you, Humble. I mean, this guy's been competing since the inception of the PlayStation division on the, you know, under Primetime MMA, and he has had mixed performances, but always putting on scrap after scrap, entertaining fights, and he kind of lives or dies by that sword.
Yeah, definitely. And Kenmore is currently ranked number 18, 2-0. Evo, number 20, this season with 11 fights. You know, mostly by knockout as well. Evo's had some good performances, some good wins, but as we know, the Xbox division is absolutely stacked. Everyone fights everybody. There's so many. Look at the main cards for an example. But you know, the Kenmore is going to be looking to go 3-0 in that division, and obviously, if he goes 3-0, he's going to set himself up nicely, J-Dime, for a top 20, top 15 guy. You know, because 3-0 in the Xbox division is difficult to do.
Yeah, and every win matters, especially at this point. That's the difference between a title shot and you still fighting on the prelims. This fight right here.
Yeah, and one thing I'll point out, right? I know that like European sports kind of work like this. If you look at like the Premier League, the way that even the beginning and the end of the season, every single match still counts, because you know you're either fighting for kind of placements or to win the entire thing, or even just to keep yourself out of the relegation zone, as you know, right, Humble? And that's kind of the case here with the way that we run under Primetime MMA, that point-based system, and of course that Grand Prix to kick off the next seasons that we do. At every single point of this, you're fighting, importantly, to get yourself up in those rankings, to either try and get that title, or at least be part of that Grand Prix to kick off the next season, which is a great launching platform for the beginning of each season.
How will I know about the relegation zone size? How you said I know about the relegation
I think
zone?
you know about football, brother. You have to take shit personal.
As you know, oh my god, these two have absolutely come out flying. Riviera Panda is trying to take his head off J Diamond. He's doing that. Barrow's got to get on the move at the moment. Kenmore is in trouble.
Yeah, he got to get out the way of these combos that's hitting him. And on my screen, both of them look like Jimmy Rivera. I thought Jimmy Rivera was facing Jimmy Rivera, but it's Henan Barrow instead.
Nice work.
We've spoken about this in the past, Humble. Very, very slept on. I mean, obviously, there's a new generation of fan that maybe hasn't seen the work, the body of work this man was able to really put in that bantamweight division. He is an absolutely terrifying force. Of course, Evo with Jimmy Rivera and his entire kind of quadruplets by the end of it, of brothers that can turn up if he doesn't get the W. Oh my god! He catches Jimmy.
Oh, he tried to. Oh, he don't like him. Well, he just tried to do. He don't like him. He just tried to death kick him.
Yeah,
they're swinging.
It's they're going for it. Oh, nice work. Get Barrow, catches him, goes for the double knee to the head. Uppercut comes at the end of it. Goes for the wrong uppercut. Jade Down doesn't get the full swing on that one, but now tries to get the cheesiest move of the world, which is the spinning back fist to the overhand. Super quick.
Yeah, I gotta know the backstory to this because he literally threw the death kick at him. So that means you hate someone. If I were to throw that at someone, that means I really have personal problems with them, Cyrus.
Yeah, he basically told him where to go with that kick, and he's obviously now finding himself in bottom control. But Evo, this was the mix-up that we needed to see from Evo. Let's be real, Humble. He was getting lit up a little bit on the feet right there. So mixing it up here is a veteran move, and it shows that all of those performances means that he's very present in these fights, and he's able to make reads and changes when the occasion calls for it. Yeah,
well, Herb's just had to come between them and say, "Listen, not doing enough." You've got to touch gloves over there. You see that one there? Try to sneak him, Cyrus. Give him the fake glove touch. Kenmore trying to go 3-0 at the moment. Looks like he's gonna do it. It is over.
It's over.
The finishing machine that is Kenmore. This guy, bro, 3-0, like you say right now. I believe they're all finishes. God damn, man. I mean, that's a way to perform with Henan Barrow. And that, honestly, that was like a Henan Barrow style performance as well, Jay. He came out there through beautiful kind of Muay Thai sort of strikes. The way he worked in the clinch, the way he worked his combinations on the outside, and most importantly, his timing, catching his opponent every time they leaned off. That hook was there to grant them and sat him down time after time.
Yeah, it just looked like Prime Henan Barrow. It looked like they were in two different octagons. This is the Jimmy Rivera today versus Prime. Dang, I just lost the name. Prime Henan Barrow.
And Henan Barrow. It's okay. He's a it happens, bro. Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a. That's it. It's a shame, Humble, that kind of over the years his name has not been kind of still mentioned, but he was an absolute phenom in his day, and obviously, as you can see with performances like that, he can be utilized very, very effectively to this day on UFC.
Exactly. Yeah, it defended the belt more than Khabib, so
Oh my gosh, Khabib just got a shot for no reason.
Yeah, I know, bro. I was gonna say a lot of people have to. No, head and brow though, what a performance. But either way, standout performance for a one and only Mr. Kenmore. Like you say, ranked number 18 at the time, was 2-0. Now gets another finish to his resume, 3-0. Going to be moving up those rankings fast. May find himself in the top 15, looking at some big ass opportunities in the near future. But with that all being said, we are going to the featured fight of this evening. And yeah, it is going to be an incredible fight, man. It is between ranked number 17, Ripe MMA, or just Ripe these days, going up against your boy Reaper. He's back. He's back on these live cards, bro. He's trying to make his way up there. He wants to make a run to end out the season. He's currently ranked number 19th, and this is an opportunity, Jay, for him to get a victory over a recognized name and a man that won, I believe, Submission of the Year last time out for 2022 in Ripe MMA.
Yeah, I wonder what Reaper is going to show up, because we didn't get to watch the last fight because it cut off with him and Storm.
Oh, yeah.
But this is really my first opportunity to see Reaper in a long time. Has Reaper gotten better? Will he beat Ripe? I'm not going to be a hater. I don't know. This is going to be a great fight.
We're about to find out, and obviously these two rank quite highly in the division. Number 17 is Ripe and number 19 is Reaper, so massive implications, as Cyrus had said. We're coming towards the end of the season. It's prime time 85 at the moment. I believe we said we might be closing off around 90, Cyrus, so it is coming. It's a couple of 5-6 weeks away, so it's not too far away, and you want to put yourself in the best absolute position to get yourself into the prime time Grand Prix, because of the PS Grand Prix, essentially, because the top 16 guys all get an invitation.
Exactly right, bro, and that's why it's so important. Top 15 gets it. Sometimes there's a wild card thrown out there as well, but you need to make sure that you're putting on a great account of yourself at every point of this season. No more important fight than the one that's ahead of you. Reaper for sure knows that, and Ripe MMA is a competitor through and through. He believes that he has the ability to start to elevate himself into that top 10, and he's going to have to push back Reaper here and stop what is a surging force of this young Irishman that we see before us.
Oh, I was just watching what was happening. I ain't even want to talk. But yeah, this is a good opportunity for both men to establish, oh my goodness, whoa, for them to establish their dominance at the top of the division. Because they're far from the top right now, but one win could catapult them even higher, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. And what I like about Reaper as well, he's constantly bringing in fresh talent into his team and along with the other guys, and he gets fresh talent to kind of train against and play against, and obviously he can have resurgences and come back forward. But even last season, Cyrus, essentially Reaper said to us, I make runs towards the end of the season, and always the main focus for me is that Grand Prix, and that makes sense because he's done it every season. He's been in the Grand Prix, but maybe not had the best start.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a tough start, but because he has a really entertaining style, he kind of lets it go. He wants to entertain the PT, fandom around the world, and it's why he's a fan-friendly favorite under the primetime banner. But Ripe MMA has so many accomplishments to his name at this stage. He has a number of knockouts to his resume, some great names under his belt as well, and of course won some awards going out to 2022. So we'll see. That's submission of the year that he got was actually a finish the fight submission, and it was all set up because of the hands that he lands first. He knocked his opponent down, went for the finish the fight submission, so don't sleep on this guy. But never mind, he got caught with the elbow.
Nice work.
Reaper's trying to get him out of there.
Yeah.
He could have just broke him down. He could have took his time, but I know what Reaper's trying to do. But Reaper looks good right now, Humble.
I was going to say there was a point that Cyrus made earlier on about him being a fan-friendly sort of fighter, and it looks different in the last couple of performances. Reaper actually just looks like a calculated killer going forward. Looks like he's using his fight IQ. He's not succumbing to try and just entertain. He's letting the finish come, and he's doing it in a calculated manner, essentially, J-Down, trying not to lose composure and just pick his shots and make counters.
Yeah, I think Reaper wants this one bad, because he was saying before the event started that he was going to whoop Ripe's ass and this and that. So I know Reaper took this one serious, Cyrus.
Yeah, he was trying to fire himself up for sure, man. Motivated, wanted to be dialed in for this opportunity. And if I know anything about this Irishman, is if he's able to get his hand raised here this evening, the celebrations around his hometown are going to be sensational. This man will be going after it. But of course, there's a tall task ahead of him, which up until this stage at least, Humble, this first round, looks like he's rising to it. He looks like he's rising to the occasion, performing very well, though he has to keep all of his ducks in line if he wants to be able to beat Max Holloway and Ripe MMA in this match.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, as you mentioned, he's got the party ready afterwards already. There's a nice Dublin bar waiting for him to watch the UFC tonight with a load of music, a load of his countrymen, and a load of ladies. And that is Reaper, what he'll be doing tonight. So it's just performing, essentially, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to keep himself motivated. He's trying to keep himself focused. And I think that's the key, J-Dime. Focus is key. Keeping that sort of professionalism and keeping that sort of whereabouts all the way through the fight.
Yeah, you got to keep your composure, because even if you're up, one shot could change it all if you don't keep your composure, and then you start to panic. So he got to stay consistent and stay what he's been doing in the first round.
Nice work, goes back. Kind of backs up right there. Ripe MMA wasn't sure about that one, and Reaper kind of similar. Looking for the opportunities for both guys. Nice hooks coming through. Reaper's getting caught. Maybe took his eye off his opponent there, Cyrus, because he got caught with a nice three-piece.
Yeah, look, these guys are really going into a slugfest for the featured fight of this prelims. They are answering the bell. They are throwing caution to the wind, quite honestly, at this stage, and trying to land maximum damage. And I feel like the risk-free reward right now is favoring Reaper. You know, he is getting himself ahead, but we know, Jay, that Ripe MMA is not a guy that's easy to put away, and when you've got Max Holloway's chin to go with that guy, as we've said before, just does not die. So, you know, obviously he needs to be able to do this at least for the next 7 minutes.
Hell?
How did Max Holloway?
Chin wrestling. Max Holloway being trained with
What,
DC.
Max? No. First of all, Max, if he actually trained with DC, he'd be chain wrestling. He just plays video games. You know what I'm saying? They should be hanging out. But I guess he actually trained with him this time, Cyrus.
Yeah, that must be, brother. I am getting a little bit worried about where Reaper's stamina might be. I feel like he is a guy that manages it well, but as you can see, Max Holloway is starting to up the ante with the body strikes, and he's already taken the best shots that Reaper had to offer, and he's still standing there with that Max Holloway chin. He is grinning ear to ear at this point. You've got to imagine that as the fight goes on, it starts to favor the Holloway player every time.
Yeah, Reaper's momentum, he's got to keep the momentum, essentially, or keep the control, keep the center, because if the momentum starts to switch and it's due to stamina, Ripe MMA will start to take over and it'll be rapid. Because Reaper's aware of that. He's really trying to keep his cool. And someone mentioned in the chat about it being a slugfest. I don't think this has been a slugfest. It's been quite technical for both of these guys. Usually it is a slugfest. And also, if you've been not part of our league, you kind of need to understand as well, we have a 98% finish rate this season, Cyrus, in our league, and that is due to the extra points that you receive if you get finishes in the first, the second, and the third round by submission or KO. And everybody does it, so you've got to keep up. You can't play patient in prime time. It doesn't work.
Well, yeah, on that point, right, we see the likes of, Intro and the champion that we see later on, Caliber, many names around us. They have the ability to be incredibly technical in moments, but of course, you have to be able to answer fire with fire, and that's what these guys do in a lot of the situations, especially, like, you say that this is technical, and it is to a certain degree, but I feel like they're not as concerned about defense as they are about their offense, right? They're all about landing damage, and whoever's got the momentum is winning. Reaper has been able to put himself ahead in this fight. He's got great shot selection and has been able to keep that momentum riding through the fight, but it isn't over, man. Look, Jay, at the recovery from Holloway going into this round. Ooh. Body health fine, head health not bad, block looking okay, and that stamina, bro, it ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, and I think this is winner takes all right now, because it's
you get him! Oh, he kicked his leg at the same time, and this is what are you doing? Don't bout your opponent when you've got him hurt. Lets him off the hook, and Reaper
it's 1-1.
Nice kick right there. Honestly, if he didn't kick his leg, it was potentially over Cyrus, because he stumbled, but he could have been on top of him, ground and pound him right there.
Exactly right. You need to seize every opportunity that comes your way. Make sure that you get those finishes, get those extra points, but also just not allow your opponent an unnecessary opportunity to come back into the fight. Nice little head kick landing right there from Max Holloway, who honestly is starting to settle into his own right here.
Yeesh. Yeah, keep going.
Oh!
I don't know. Oh, it doesn't matter. Reaper is down. Reaper is down, J Diamond. Maybe that stutter was for a purpose, because at the end of the day, we might want to see this knockout right now. Here we go.
Oh! Oh, he's dead.
Oh, Reaper.
Oh no, he's still alive.
He survived. He survives. Reaper
He's a
has got
victim
some
right
heart.
now. Yeah, he
got
can
some
have
heart.
heart. Yeah, he need more than heart to win right now. Oh my gosh. He's a victim.
May need a gun. Genuinely, side control, not a great position to be in. Max Holloway, not known for his top control, but of course, it is the man behind the sticks that is going to be able to employ that. You've got to remember, this guy, once again, Humble, was able to get Submission of the Year last time out on the PlayStation division. Can he do it again here? Which with what would be the biggest comeback of this evening and maybe the year?
Yeah, and you can see the blood placing all over the place as well. And just remember, right? Reaper might have won the first 2 rounds. So if Reaper won those first 2 rounds, essentially, this could be a 10-9 still, and it could essentially... You're not going to give a draw, so they've got to give someone 2 rounds. Reaper could be still finishing this, so he needs to survive, essentially. He might be surviving for his life right now, J Dime. He might still win the fight.
Yeah, but I think it's 1-1. And I wouldn't leave it to the judge's hands either.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. We got Opticon in the chat. I'm sorry. What are you talking about this fight? Who have you got? And I agree, bro. I'm not too sure. I think that Reaper may be 2 up, but even if not, I don't think you can feel confident. But with the way that round is going, if I'm Reaper, I'll be honest, Humble, I'm probably looking to end out this round with a victory. You know, at least not getting finished, right? You want to be in with that opportunity, because you might be 2 rounds up. And you don't want to die right here.
Oh god, he's got 35 seconds and 1 hand behind his back.
Where's his arm?
Oh my days, he survives it. 26 seconds for Reaper to hang on, gets to the mount position. It's going to rain down the ground and pound right now. Right MMA trying to finish Reaper. The last 10 seconds, J Diamond. This is it.
I just want to know how he was able to block when he didn't have his arm.
Oh god!
Why would Reaper exchange in those last seconds? Why would
he? It's crazy. Told you. Either way, he's going out tonight and getting levered.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, nice Irish bar.
Okay, who's gonna win this?
I don't know.
They're showing a lot of Max Holloway. They're showing a lot of Max Holloway.
It was the second round was closer than I think we think. Third round was nowhere near close. If I'm correct on my assessment of scoring, third round always means more, so therefore it should go Max Holloway either way.
Because all 3 judges, 29-27.
Definitely third round, because it was only 10 rounds, so it's
Max Blessed Holloway!
Definitely.
29-27.
I told you, they give you that second round. It'd be interesting to see the stats as well. I don't know if they're going to show us them, but Reaper's going to be good, man. We're good for him. One of the best workers, one of the best guys. That's mad, isn't it?
Don't get me wrong, 29-28 I would have taken. 29-27. Jesus, bro. Jesus. What a fight, though. What a freaking fight to end out the early prelims. I mean, it has been a sensational pace to this evening. Of course, we still have the best part of 7 fights on our main card. Every single one of those fights is going to be freaking sensational. So, without further ado, what we're going to do is, in case you missed it, as we loaded up the event here this evening, we had a beautiful little promo packet built by the one and only Mr. Humbledink himself. So we're going to go back to that for the next 1 or 2 minutes, get us all extra fired up for this main card and what's going to be an incredible main event. We'll see you in a couple of seconds with what is going to be pure savagery.
I can see the battle lines. I can feel the fire when I'm breathing. Waking up the giant that's been sleeping. Playing this game for a reason. Been playing this game. Never say die, never say die. You're gonna see me standing with my fist in the sky. Never say die, look into my eyes. Yeah, you know that I can see the future gonna rise. Never say, never say. Never say die. Harder. Gonna prove I can do
That man right there, EK Capalot, if that same guy turns up every time, you stop it.
I know that I can see the future gonna rise.
And we are back. What, honestly, guys, fired up doesn't quite cover it for this main event here this evening. It is going to be a sensational bout between the newly crowned champion, the one and only KM Caliber, a man that, as you saw by the highlights, has some sensational highlights to his resume, and the unstoppable finishing machine EK Capalot, who has been rising through those rankings, fighting out the bit for that title opportunity. That title opportunity, Mr. Humbledink, has come now, and it has come at a perfect time for this man who feels like he is ready to claim that primetime gold back in the favor of the EK man.
Yeah, definitely. He's getting his title shot, you know, that massive win over Dirty Div. Now, it hasn't come easy as well. He's had some massive names there this season, and he's going to be looking to upset Caliber in this one, and obviously J Dime going into this one as well. The challenger gets to pick the weight class, and he picked light heavyweight, which Caliber wasn't happy about when he's gone John Jones and Caliber. I don't think Caliber was happy about that either. So this is going to be very interesting. That's kind of a mind game going into it.
Yeah, he's playing chess. That's smart right here. You don't do what your opponent wants you to do. You try to make them uncomfortable, and that's what he's doing.
Yes, sir. This is chess, not checkers, my man. And Capalot has been playing every single move perfectly. He's thinking 3 steps ahead here this evening. We'll see if that's going to be something that helps favor him come this main event. Of course, the challenger gets to pick the weight class. The champion gets first pick of the fighter. So, I mean, a big fight in that main event, and of course the co-main event. There's too much good stuff to say about that, guys. We'll cover it again a little bit later on. GOAT and CV, it's one hell of a fight on that PlayStation side of things. One of those guys is going to be fighting for the belt next up against Buck, who has just won it in probably the best performance I have ever seen from that man, and maybe one of the best performances on the PlayStation division, period. But until we get to that stage, we now have 5 fights of absolute beautiful destruction. Mr. Humbledink, first fight up, rank number 10, rank number 13. Desino, Toasty Toes, they are going at it in what is going to make an incredible bout in this welterweight division.
Exactly that. I've got over 150 competitors in each league in prime time, and these guys have managed to find themselves number 10 essentially and number 13, which tells you the skill level going into this one. But Desino currently riding high at that number 10. He's going to want to be pushing up. Toasty Toes could be the spoil tonight, but it'll be interesting to see who people are picking for this fight, because it's going to be an interesting one. St. Pierre versus Edwards. J Dime, what do you make of that?
It is the welterweight GOAT versus if Leon beats Kamaru Usman, soon to be welterweight GOAT.
when
he
beats the Kamaru Usman.
When Leon Rocky Edwards. This would actually be a decent fight in real life.
Very interesting. I'm constantly impressed by Leon Edwards, but on this game he's got extremely good length, really good 5-star elbows in the clinch, good footwork essentially, but his wrestling is where he lacks, Cyrus, but he's got good enough tools, but he does lack in that area.
Yeah, for sure. This is the problem. When you get put on the mat with Leon Edwards, we saw Gunnar Nelson do it as well when he was able to get that hot mount towards the end of the 3rd round in the fight that Leon Edwards was able to get ahead in, but he seems to have made massive adjustments in that area. We saw him get a very good takedown on Kamaru Usman in that 1st round. He seems to have elevated his game all round, and obviously there's a reason he's the champion right now, and he looks to prove that once again here this evening with some big denials and now some top mount ground and pound from Leon Rocky Edwards and Desino.
I love that.
Oh, there's a problem here. I was about to say, it's tough when they're GSP on the bottom because he doesn't have a get up from top mount. So there's only 2 ways you can go, Cyrus.
Yeah, GSP was a man that worked his way into a position to never find himself on his back. So doesn't seem to have many tools, from those positions, like you said, and he wants to be in a dominant position the entire way around. Another guy that, is definitely more of a hammer than he is a nail, so he needs to be the front runner in this fight. And one thing I will say about Toasty Toes is he's made massive adjustments to his striking. He is a grappler by heart, but as you can see, when he starts to get caught up right now, it starts to bring out some of the panic strikes and the panic wrestling. He does get a little bit flustered occasionally under the pressure, and I feel like that leads him on to even bigger shots. Oh, never mind!
He said, but not now.
Not today!
He's circling my front.
He heard it.
He was circling. He missed that shot because of the circling. And he was still frustrated and still, like even Cyrus's point. in that sort of sequence kind of came to fruition because he didn't get a rock or a finish because he was moving too much when he was doing it.
Man, it's crazy because Toasty Toes, even though he got this start, oh my goodness. Oh, never mind. Let me just be quiet and let this play out.
For the blood.
The head kick might be there, but quite honestly, he seems to be setting it up to me, but we'll have to see. Desino very calculated in his approach. He is cage cutting, not following. Toasty Toast does a good sidestep, trying to be a little bit more elusive. But
Knees.
Toasty will cheese you, bro. He don't care. Like, he will. Oh, but never mind! Dead!
Oh, that's a dead body.
Yeah. Headshot dead. He killed a man in that cage here this evening. Desino doing it for the DB boys. What a performance, man. What a performance.
Dang. He killed Toasty Toes.
100% finish rate again for our another event that we've got. So
no,
far.
it's not. I wish.
Was it not? Who else?
No,
we got one decision. We got one decision.
Oh, one decision.
Oh,
Okay, one decision. Right. We've had one decision every event.
No, they need to get suspended from that.
No, they're getting banned, bro. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take one decision. I can't, like, you know what I mean? Good fight as well. Great fight. So I'll take it. But, you know, that was a fantastic. No decision in that one was my point. Desino does not like decisions, and he goes 6-2. He's going to propel himself into that. He's ninth already, so he's going to propel himself essentially around that 5-4-3 spot, and he's going to get a big fight for his next one later in the card. You know, next week potentially or the week after. Cyrus, that's a massive win for him.
Yeah, Desino ranked number 10 now. He's 6-2. He's got a good record, got some good names on his resume, and obviously is looking to bounce back. I think he had a tough loss up against Trixie when he got his first real rise into that top 5. But obviously he's going to have learned from that. And one thing I will say, guys, and a little bit unconnected by what we were saying about judges are not really needed in primetime MMA. There's a lot of moving parts under this promotion, right? We've got a lot of guys that put in incredible amount of work. Of course, you guys on the commentary booth, all of the guys, Doc, Reaper, Ginger, Matty D and the like in the back. There's a lot of guys who put in a phenomenal amount of work, but the most the easiest job in primetime MMA is definitely that judging. They're not required too often, and once again, this is another fight that I don't expect them to be needed in. Mr. Humbledink, we mentioned it at the beginning of the card, my man. Amazon versus KIA Blake. Blake literally thanked every member of staff for this opportunity to fight on Amazon. He wants this opportunity. He wants to prove a point up against a veteran under primetime MMA and currently ranked number 6 in Amazon, a man that brings chaos to the cage. Can Blake bring some calmness and precision to take out that chaotic storm that Amazon brings?
Yeah, definitely, J Diamond. No, you're about to say, and you can go to it straight away. Blake currently riding high. He's even his loss, J Diamond. Remember his loss? He was winning that fight and he made a mistake in it, and the guy came back and ended up beating him. You know, Blake has been doing well in every fight. We've actually questioned if it was him fighting at some points. He is a teammate of mine and obviously a friend of both of ours. But he was telling me this week that he doesn't understand how Amazon is so ranked so highly in the PlayStation division, and that
he was calling him a bum.
Yeah, this is the easiest fight that he's gonna possibly have, and this is really interesting because there's nothing more I'd like to see, Cyrus, than either Amazon coming back and proving that wrong, or Blake doing it and overcoming the obstacle and talking some shit. So either way, we win.
Yeah, 100% looking. Just to quote DG Peso in the chat, this is going to be violence. Pure violence at that, my man, for sure. The first performance of Volkanovski here this evening won't be the last. As we know, a little bit later on, he will be fighting Islam, and we are all hyped for that. But he gets to run it back one more time with Max Holloway. This is a fun old fight, Jay.
Oh, yeah, this is a great fight. Hopefully, it's more competitive than the last fight in real life.
Nice work, yeah, hopefully. And Blake is doing a good job controlling the distance. I'm thinking Amazon is really just trying to set a pace at the moment, Cyrus, and just see if Blake can keep up or see he can make. I've seen some whiffs. Blake needs to be flawless. He's had no sort of mistakes in some of his fights, barring one, and that cost him, so he needs to be flawless again. He needs to keep his wits about him and stay focused.
Oh.
Well, going for those big spin kicks to the body, he's going to start making Volkanovski circle off to his left-hand side. However, with Amazon approach so far, he's fighting very laterally, but I think that he's got to be a little bit more rangy. You've got to understand that Volkanovski actually does have the reach advantage here, Jay, and he's not playing to that right now.
Oh,
it's so crazy that he has the reach advantage.
Oh, I got him! Oh, he's going for the switch kick. Oh, he went straight away, timed that.
Oh,
He's been learning from the Rock and Lion himself.
Oh.
Beautiful work from Blake.
Oh, this is where Blake like to be. This is where he likes to be, right here.
He's being patient at the moment, but
This is where he likes to be, right here.
Can he avalanche his way to a victory? The snowball is rolling. He's getting momentum. What can stop this man now? Only absolute pure will force from Amazon, who is in dire straits at this position.
This is
Oh my, yeah.
Blake's done this on PT a few times, and he keeps saying this to me. He goes, I do this all the time to people I'm right. And I just
No, you don't.
Mate, that's what he said. That's what he said to me. He said, I do this all the time, but I don't do it in spars to people. So that's what he said. So I don't know if that's true or not, because I don't watch him on right. But at the end of the day, he's proved it a few times in PTJ time, and he's doing it again right now.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, even though he's looking good, this match is far from over. Think about this. Amazon, the comeback kid. Amazon has made a lot of comebacks. So he's going to keep his...
What are you doing?
What about watching?
Now, Amazon doesn't fight in what you would consider a beautiful way, right? Like the most technical, but he brings all sorts of chaos. I told you, bro, he is the storm. He comes at you with everything.
It's beautiful in its own way.
Yeah, different type of beautiful. Different type of beautiful.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He keeps doing that. Keeps doing.
Stick to your fundamentals, like he's not doing much here.
Amazon made that read a long time ago.
Bro, these guys. That's humble. These guys have gone Beyblade on us. Honestly, they let it rip about 9 times so far. I've never seen so many in my life, bro. Including from these guys. What the...
Yeah, these two need to think about, like, it's got, when you get hit that much and someone's spinning and doing all this crazy shit, you try and match it, right? Try and match the same energy, and you've got to take yourself out. The person who takes themselves out of that sort of mentality and starts utilizing the jab, starts utilizing, starts thinking about more about the distance, starts thinking about lateral movement, things like that, feinting. That's the person who just kind of runs away with it. And for Amazon at the moment, he's going to be licking his lips because Blake is entertaining the idea of going into a slugfest when he doesn't need to. The stamina damage is already done.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, look, Blake came into this knowing that he, in his own mind, had a technical advantage and he was going to prove that. But he's giving that up, Jay, by, entering into this Beyblade sort of fanatic pace that they're trying to set. It may ultimately end up playing to his favor. He has got a stamina advantage, but, he has taken some heavy shots from Volk, who hits like a freaking truck, bro.
I want to tell you what Amazon could do. When Blake throws that 1-2 body kick, he throws that body kick in the pocket. A rare hook will take him out, honestly.
I'm trying to get Blake beat right now.
I'm not
Amazon giving him coaching advice for how to finish him when he throws that 1-2. No, you are right though. There's opportunities there to do that. Beautiful work from Blake. Just needs to stay disciplined, and though Blake's a good striker, he needs to just kind of focus and really think about it. Perfect work.
And that was it. The composure allowed him to pull that and now potentially get in the finish.
Over.
And it's over.
It's over. It's over. Nice win for Blake as well, over a massive company. That's going to propel him 4-1 in the PlayStation division. Yeah. Well, it had some adversity there through the style. Like I said to you, it's easy to get drawn into that sort of style with your opponent, and then they finish you essentially.
Honestly, if I'm Blake, I'm taking big lessons from this, because when he was composed, he was in control, 100%, 100%. He was in control, but. That game plan went out the window for a little bit when he got punched in the face. You've heard the saying, everybody's got a game plan until you get punched in the face, and that seemed to be the case with Blake. He had to go back to that corner, have the guys, I would imagine, from KIA in his ear, telling him to get back to plan A, work that patient style, and he found it very quickly when he was able to do that, the pull counter, on point.
Yeah, he did well. Good job with his hands. I was more impressed with his hands rather than I was his feet, essentially, J-Time, because I feel like his feet were slightly sloppy. They actually left him in bad position sometimes. They were good early on, and then they started getting sloppy later on in the fight. But he remained relatively composed with his hands, and eventually that's how he got it done.
Yeah, I know Humble is happy as a teammate right now for Blake. I know Humble's really happy because he put KIA in the chat, just like Blake.
Representing, baby.
Representing.
Well,
my guys, I genuinely, we were speaking about before the events, that we've been doing this now for a long time. These events continue to be sensational. We're excited as we move through the cards, and these guys' journeys and stories continue to play out. And this next guy right here, currently no longer champion, former champion to MBK Buck, the one and only Kai, looking to bounce back. And I said this before, I like to say that this guy is the finishing phenom. You showed it in his highlights in the past. We don't have it here this evening, but he is a guy that when he gets you clipped and he sits you down, then he's got almost 100% finish rate from that first rock. Obviously, he has had real highs in this promotion, and he wants to get back there. He doesn't feel that performance against Buck was a fair accounting of his skills, but he's going to have to do it in a 3-round fight up against an undefeated prospect, a fast-rising star on the PlayStation division in NM Liam. I mean, what a fight this one is, Humble.
Yeah, I'm good friends with Liam, and I like the guy. Like, he's a good fighter, like one of the best fighters in the world, in my opinion. Very clean, very respectful, very nice guy, but at the same time, he's dangerous. A lot of people do not want to fight him in the division, and there's a reason why. But as you said, Kai is when he gets you hurt and he knocks you down, that first initial knockdown, it is so dangerous, J-Time, because he's finished everyone. Finished myself, finished a few other people like who are brilliant and great, and it shows as well. It did it to Word Life as well.
Dang, you just had to put Word Life in there. Like, he finished a great play too, not just me.
Before we go ahead as well, his title fight, he hurt his opponent, knocked him down, and didn't jump. Remember that?
Yeah, no, that's a big point, bro. That's a big point. Yeah. I don't know why he didn't do it, but like, madness, bro. Madness. Maybe once again, maybe that's what he feels like. He just wasn't in the right, mental place. But that cannot be the case here this evening. He needs to have all of his I's dotted, all of his T's crossed going into this one, because NM Liam has not taken a step wrong under his run in Punk of MMA, and I mean, he already gets the really big takedown with 4 minutes 20 left on the clock. Jay, that's a terrible position for Colby to be in.
Yeah, and I just thought about it. I do like the way Liam fight. I used to love watching Liam fight. He fights a clean style, and Kai has his own style. He's like a killer once he hurts you. So this should be a great match, Humble.
This is a great match. This has got massive implications, or title implications going forward as well. We've got a number one contender fight later on, but them two should be looking at this as well as the PlayStation champion, because it's such a big fight in the PlayStation division, and it's a treat to get so early on. But nice work right there from where we go with the messages.
Somebody got a message.
Always.
Is that what it is? I've always wondered when watching something on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's literally a message.
Someone's sending them a message on purpose to try and distract them. It's frustrating.
Turn your notifications off, please.
Yeah, you got to do it, otherwise you're going to be impacted. But Kai at the moment is starting to turn it around, in my opinion. He's actually having better success on his feet, and Liam so far got that early takedown, but on a bit of an onslaught.
Oh, nice. And you got to think, what's going through Kai's head? He got his ass beat and lost his title. So now he want to get back to that title picture. So that may be running through his head right now, Cyrus.
Yeah, and honestly, he's kind of genuinely not fighting like himself for me. He's really he has an odd and different approach, but it's kind of working. He's really unorthodox in all of the ways that he fights, Humble, but he has a lot of success with it. It's just this in particular seems a little bit kind of high risk for him. A lot of head kicks in this first round.
He makes a lot of adjustments in his fights that are very subtle. At the same time, they don't look like him. I don't know if anyone noticed, but Kai actually fights. He fights an orthodox with Colby Covington as well. So he changes the stance essentially to help kind of himself in there, and it does take away from the power, but he still manages to do it and strike like this on the feet, and that's because of his hook to the head, uppercut to the body that he does constantly, gets him injured down with the entry and does a lot of damage.
You said it takes away Kobe power. It does normally, but Kobe doesn't have power to begin with, so he's not losing much right now.
He's going to try and burn. That's the one of the things about Usman. It's why Usman's such a bad matchup for him. Usman's not going to get tired. And that's what Kai, is probably trying to do with a lot of these kicks to the body, is he's trying to, get that body work in early so that across this third round, his opponent may start to gas out, because he doesn't have the 5 that he would hope, that he would kind of normally have to work with. But you know that this guy burns through his stamina, Humble. You can see that just like every single second he can throw, he will.
Oh,
He wasn't jump.
He didn't.
1 second.
Could he jump? You know what I mean? Like,
No.
He essentially, but he got a big, massive stolen arm right there. But Kai's got to be, he's in some trouble early. We'll see what he can do and pull out right there. But he was trying to put the pressure and trying to be an orthodox, trying to essentially give his opponent a lot to worry about. And ends up getting caught with that duck.
Yeah. Well, I heard Liam said Kai has an advantage because this guy's connection. That's,
wow.
That's,
Oh, wow. They don't like each other as well then. So there's a bit of animosity in this one. There's a lot of animosity amongst the community. We are a fighting community, and the day it's good, natural, Cyrus.
Right.
So we get on with each other, but mutually, we all want to win. It's the way it is as a competitor. So it's kind of nice. But Liam and Kai obviously clearly don't like each other, and they're trying to win at all costs essentially in this octagon right now.
Yeah, for sure, man. And
Dirty.
That's big. That's big for Kai. He does good work on the ground, man. He has a brutal ground and pound repertoire. It'll be interesting to see what Liam's able to do, especially if, from what you were saying and from what I see in the chat, he's not happy about the connection. So we'll have to see how this. We'll have to see how this goes. God, I mean, this could be a good kind of 3 minutes on for Kai if he's able to get it going.
Oh wow!
What did I just see?
Get side control. Use the transition to. Certain transition you can use as your opponent's trying to get out that you can kind of cancel theirs out and use yours. So it was.
you can overpower theirs basically.
Yeah. It's knowledge and Kai's got abundance.
Yeah. Like there's another situation you could do that in too. Like, like a stat guard.
Oh my God!
Stack this guard right now.
Yeah,
Kai.
no, he is. I was about to say a half guard sweep overpowers a stat guard on here.
That's what their eyes are both like pissing blood.
Yeah.
It's crying blood right now, guys.
This is dire, man. This is dire for both guys. They are living and dying by that sword, willing to risk it all to get the victory. Undefeated prospect on the right-hand side in the red corner.
He don't have no
caught.
block. He has to move out the way.
Oh, drops him.
Oh, is he gonna put him away?
Oh, Liam gets him.
It's over.
There's no finish. Oh, wow. Disconnected the stream.
It's over.
Oh, wow.
Bro, he punched out his connection. That was a phenomenal performance from a still undefeated prospect, taking out a former champion who was trying to bounce back. NM Liam, now 4-0 under Primetime MMA. God damn, big things ahead for this man right here, Jay. Big things in the PlayStation division. I can't wait to see what he's able to do.
Sheesh. And then they said that Kai rage quit too. Sheesh. That's a tough one to take.
Well, he was doing well, in my opinion. Kai had some really nice moments that fight. He actually started switching the momentum. But I know how good Liam is. That's the thing, they're both dangerous competitors. Both deserve to be fighting each other. That could have been a co-main event or a main event of any sort of card that we've had, Cyrus, but it just so happens to be where it is. And speaking of 4-0, the co-main event, just to give you an understanding of what that's done for Liam, the co-main event at the moment's got CV in it, who is 4-0, fighting for a #1 contender spot. So it puts him right up there. Those guys might be fighting next week, but the week after, or a #1 contender shot, that's on the horizon for NM Liam.
Yeah, exactly right. I was speaking to him before this event because we had to make sure that he was available for it, had some other prior commitments leading up to the event. He was able to make it here. Probably didn't have a lot of time to warm up and came out there, fought against adversity, against a tough old opponent and got his hand raised, like you said. Puts himself in a position now, as I was mentioning to him before the event, is if he's able to get past Kai, then he's in a position where he's probably in a #1 contender matchup next time out, and that means he's 1 to 2 fights away from potentially being Primetime MMA's champion if he can get it all together as he moves forward. But it's a tough old road in the PlayStation and the Xbox divisions. No fights are easy fights, as he found out there. That was a tough old one against Kai, and of course it only continues to get tougher and bigger each and every time you get into this cage and continue to win, of course. And talking about that, we have 2 old foes, Mr. Humbledon, going back at it. It's the first time I think we've seen this fight, maybe not at 5 rounds. It is between the one and only Naz and Trixie. I think we've discussed this in the past. This is a fight that we're both blessed to see, and wish that we could have seen maybe a little bit down the line at the main event, because they continue to win these guys each and every time. And right now, Trixie has had 1 or 2 setbacks. I believe Naz... has Naz lost since he's come back? Has he lost?
It's on a slight win streak, but I think he's lost 1 fight, and I think that was against Capalot, if I'm Correct, but
Sounds about right. That sounds
yeah.
about
So
right,
if I don't know the exact rankings, but I know that these two fought each other. I think this is the 4th or 5th fight this season, and I believe that 2-2. So this could be an interesting one, almost like a best of 5. I'll have to double check that, but
Here we go.
I do love the picks as well. Sean O'Malley versus Cejudo. I'm interested in that fight if it happens.
Oh, that's a good fight in real life too.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go, Sean. I'm playing, but yeah, we got Sean O'Malley versus Henry Cejudo.
I am correct, by the way. It was a loss. Oh, no, it wasn't. That's a different fight. Sorry, ignore me.
No, you're all good. Like, to be straight up with you, I really, really respect and rate these two guys as competitors. They've been, Trixie's been with us from day dot, and he's been one of the best champions that we have ever seen. No longer got the gold, but as we've seen with him in the past, looking to bounce back to that as soon as he can. But he has to do it against, genuinely one of the breakthrough players of this season in Naz. Naz had I think it was 1-4 last season.
Ooh.
He's now out here with let me just double check. I think it's like 9 and something record. Absolutely killing 9-4 record right now, and obviously champion walked away from it, wants to get back to that now, and he has to get through one of the toughest tasks that you can possibly ask for in this Xbox division in Trixie.
Yeah, 2-time champion as well. Lost the belt, won the belt again. And I was wrong in my calculation. Well, Trixie and Naz currently have fought 3 times in prime time this season. Naz is up 2-1, so Trixie's wanting to get that back right now, and he's on a bit of a skid, Cyrus, as you mentioned, so he needs to come out firing. It looks like he's doing that, J-Dime.
It looks like Henry Cejudo's starting to close the distance too, but yeah, this is a great rivalry. It don't matter who wins or loses. There are always great matches between the two. It's never just pure domination, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. These guys are tit for tat the entire way. Oh my God, bro. And honestly, the thing about this one as well, Humble, is that they can do it absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, they can. They both have got that skill. And if you remember last week as well, I was just getting to this one. Dirty Dave versus Naz fought each other in the fight, probably the fight of the year, fight of the night contender, if you remember. And that was a back and forth, and Naz got knocked out with a spectacular uppercut while he was winning that exchange, and it chopped us also. His teammate, essentially, Trixie, now is coming back, trying to finish the job, and Naz is really up against it as well, because this could put him in 0-2 essentially his last 2 fights.
Ooh, Henry Cejudo's getting
my
tagged.
God, this might be it already.
Henry Cejudo, I mean, Sean, I said Henry. How many things tagging him? I meant to say the other way around. Yeah, Sean's already taken so much damage in this fight.
Yeah, Naz, genuinely seems really geared up. Somebody needs to test this man. I don't know if Usada came around to him, but he looks...
oh no, he shot a sort of guard. He chaining? Oh yeah, he's serious right now.
That was nice. That was a lesson to everyone. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
This is... If you guys are new to Primetime MMA or the EA UFC 4 community as a whole, you would need to go back and check a number of these fights. These guys are truly some of the best competitors that have ever graced this community. And like I said, they may not be at the top right now, but they're always in or amongst that top 5, top 10 sort of ranking spot here, Humble. And it's because of the finishing instincts, their composure in the cage, and just their ability to battle through adversity. You've seen that Trixie had his tough start, but he's making the adjustments needed, like a champion would, to try and get himself back into this fight. And Naz, of course, trying to stifle that at every turn.
I don't think there's anybody who deserves the term more adjustment king than Trixie. He is the definition of an adjustment king, essentially. He does it in nearly every fight. If he's losing, he makes adjustments and starts to win the round almost seamlessly, like he was winning the fight all the entire time. But Naz is a top competitor. He's already got the confidence to beat Trixie, and he's looking to essentially put himself far ahead of their sort of rivalry so far. But Trixie ended the round momentum, J-Dime. It could be a thing.
Yeah, but Sean head health still concerns me, but he's doing good, Cyrus.
Yeah, he's doing real good.
He tried to go to guard, he uppercut him. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Trixie is not going to let up. He's got that killer instinct. He will play patiently, but he'll be in his fate, making him feel the pressure, trying to get him to overcommit and use the reach to his advantage. And he gets him with a double hook.
And all of a sudden, we're in Trixie's world. This is where he thrives. This is where he comes back when he starts to come forward. Naz is under pressure. Ducks the initial shot. Needs to be careful right now. Gets dropped. And Trixie's going for the finish, Cyrus.
Historically, his best round, the second, and he gets the job done again. How did he do it, bro? The second round, every time.
Was he losing
time.
at any point? Was he losing it? Because it's all of a sudden your brain switches. It's like, was Trixie even losing that fight? Yes, he was. And Naz is a brilliant competitor. But wow. He's a like once in a lifetime sort of esports competitor when it comes like when UFC so big size and we're doing stadiums or we're doing events in giant places and this esports is going to take off. I hope Trixie's still around to kind of essentially show people his skill because he's one of the guys who is a pleasure to watch every time. You come away from his fights literally thinking that was such a fun fight. You know, and he does it time and time again.
100%, brother. Let me say this right now, right? I mean, this guy still has a long career ahead of him, hopefully, and I mean, a lot to give in that octagon. He continues to advance his game even at this late stage of UFC 4, and that speaks volumes to what him and his camp over at BFAP are doing. But without a shadow of doubt, right, we did our first awards for 2022, and at some point in the relatively near future, I would imagine we're going to start looking at inducting people into a Hall of Fame. We've been running for about 4 years now. Some guys have started to really accumulate records. Of course, we have some heritage and so on that we want to pay homage to, and Trixie is by far the first induction into that Hall of Fame. I think we can all agree that this guy has put in so many phenomenal performances, and once again, he's now able to get another W over a top-flight opponent and just continue to keep his name relevant in what is probably the most stacked and deepest division in this gaming community, period, which is Primetime's Xbox division. It's a hard thing to continue to keep yourself relevant like he has.
Yeah, definitely, and he's the backbone. You know, he's been the backbone for time. He's been what a competitor should be and how you should represent yourself and how you should fight. And he's been almost an inspiration for other people as well. I know he's helped a lot of people out. There's a lot of guys. The primetime Xbox division is almost like 2000s WWE, Jedi. You have the likes of Dirty Dave, the Caliber, Capalot, Blackout, Naz, Trixie, you know, these guys are all massive names. They're building constant names themselves, beating each other up. And that takes them two, by the way. I just want to point this out. Naz and Trixie are now 2-2 this season. So Naz will be wanting that back in the future. Don't be counting Naz out because he'll be coming back for that belt and essentially try to build his way back up to wherever Trixie is. And hopefully, maybe in the future, it's for a title or a more contender sports house.
Yeah, I expect big things, man. I mean, look, the next time we see those guys fight, it will be a main event. I assure you of that. They are top flight opponents. They, you know, deserve to be in this spot in the card right now. Of course, the current season not quite living up to former glories, but as you can see, is still as game as ever. And like I said, I think big things are ahead for both competitors. But talking about big things on the Xbox division, we have the one and only Dirtiest of Daves from BFAP, much like his teammate Trixie that we just saw compete. He is ranked number 1. He is the dirtiest of Daves, bro. He's going into this one currently ranked number 1, 11-4 on the Xbox division. Probably the most prolific fighter of this season so far, Dirty Dave, or at least up and in there, probably ranking or close to Trixie, I would imagine, for most main event spots under this season as well. He is a top flight opponent that truly can do it anywhere. Predominantly likes to do it on the ground. Humble does like to work that, but obviously he's been adding a lot of knockouts to his resume as of recently, and it will be interesting in this next test against ranked number 8 Rising Star Blackout, B3 Blackout, who is I mean, if you don't know what B3 is all about or what Blackout does in that cage, then I don't know where the hell you been. Get out of that rock and watch this sensational action that's about to follow. He is all action, forward pressure, and likes to set those hands on his opponent from the opening bell there.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to be an absolute fantastic fight to see how Dave would deal with, or if he's using Vittori. Finally, Dan, we've seen him a couple weeks ago.
He put Izzy away.
Yeah, he was Izzy. He was Izzy the other week. We didn't like it. We actually felt uncomfortable. You know, it was against Capalot was fighting tonight, and we were all saying during that event it doesn't feel quite like Dirty Dave, and Vittori seems much more like his sort of pick.
Bro, that's crazy. I thought he was gonna pick that Izzy again, because if he did that, I will say you're playing with fire again. Like your striking has got a lot better, but do what got you to the dance, and it wasn't only striking; it was grappling.
Exactly right, bro. And I mean, look, Nick Diaz, right, in this sort of spot, it speaks fucking volumes, Humble, to what B3 Blackout is all about. And if you don't know, you're, potentially going to find out this man has so many knockouts with Nick Diaz, and a lot of them in that first round. But he gets head kicked and speared. The Dirty Dave special in that first round already, Humble.
Yeah, he's got his own signature moves, So that's he's got his own. Who else does that? Who else has got that?
Yeah, I know. Like Triple H back in the day had the pedigree, right? Dirty Dave has the rock, the rock spear.
I would go, and he's just like starting to move like butter, like a knife through butter, Jay, down through the guard, and just gets to Mount Eris. This is a dangerous spot for Blackout already. Gets a denial, and this is going to be a horrendous position to be in so early in the fight.
The fight just started, and we're already where Dirty Dave wanted to be. Blackout got to keep his composure. He got to survive the storm right now, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously a dire position to be in, but the B3 boys, they train absolutely everywhere. They do it best on the feet, but they know where, like, let's be honest, if you're a B3 player, everybody's trying to take you down, bro. He knows that this is what people are going to be trying to do to him, Humble, and that's why he was so well prepared in that back position there to not get flattened out and not being put in a worse position. Defending very well, but obviously still needs to be careful because Dave is, where he wants to be, basically.
Yeah, Dave's skill set might not come to fruition, like as in the ground and pound, the sort of shot selection he's going to take in that first round. It might not come right now. He's happy to ride it out. The key for this is the jiu-jitsu of Blackout. He needs to be able to use it to get up. And at the moment, he's doing well defending certain positions, doing well defending being hurt badly, but he's still getting like grinded out essentially by Dirty Dave, and he's happy to do so, Jedi.
Yeah, even though he's not taking the most damage at times, you don't want to be on your back. You're at a disadvantage. You're obviously losing around if you're on your back, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, being in full guard, definitely a lot more of where he wants to be if he's able to regain it, but easier said than done. Dirty Dave with that shutdown on the transition, working the bunny shots, trying to get a posture up and some ground and pound. Of course, this man is position over submission, but give him the opportunity and he will let those hands fly, Humble. I feel like this has been a measured approach from him, but as we approach that final 30 seconds, you know that more and more damage, more and more risk will be employed.
Yeah, exactly that. Nice work right there, though, to get to the rubber guard. He needs to do something with it, and Dave's going to probably wait it out, goes for the top mount, gets it. 30 seconds to work now for Blackout, and he's good on his back as well, but Dirty Dave's very good at defending. Can he do something with it? Not really.
So that's Dirty Dave being a specialist, bro. He was about to get back flatted, so he rolled across and gave up the back in that position instead. I'm telling you, this guy, like...
Yeah.
He's Jesus. What the heck? That foot just, like, skimmed the side of his cheek? Like, that is close, bro.
Shaved him. Just give him a little shave.
God damn. Look, every round starts standing. Nick Diaz going to be looking to put those paws on Marvin Vettori. Believes he's been selling wolf tickets over the first round. Feels like he can get all of the muster he needs to get the finish, but Dirty Dave obviously going to be very confident after what was a incredibly successful first round.
Nice work. Comes forward with the sort of combination punching from Nick Diaz. Really trying to put the pressure on. And Dirty Dave is getting caught quite a bit, but I'm expecting a change-up or an adjustment from Dirty Dave very soon, J-Dan.
Yeah, but if you notice, when people have success on Dirty Dave, it's when they're dictating pace and keeping him on that cage and dictating the striking pace, Humble.
Yeah, you are correct, but at the same time, he's now opening the space, so he gets the knockdown. And you might have been correct on your assumption. Might need to be in a calculation to readjust for Blackout. Didn't do it, and now he's going to get dragged to his back. Gets back to his feet, and we'll see if he does take the center of the octagon.
I'm telling you, B3 Blackout knows no other way than forward. Through the trenches, whatever's coming his way, he will press forward and bank on himself to make the right choices to get the finish. A difficult opening 7 minutes, but some moments of success, and Dirty Dave can start to feel the momentum shifting with some big head kicks beginning to land.
Nice sneaks up a cut through though, and he's still dangerous. It's like it's whoever makes the next sort of wrong move. The forward pressure from Blackout is great, and he's doing really well when he's landing, but he's leaving himself incredibly vulnerable, especially to a spear again if he keeps letting his stamina get low. So he's got to be careful of that, but does a good job to stuff the takedown, J-Dime.
Yeah, but this the B3 style, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take one to give one. You from kill or be killed. and it looks like he's about to get killed.
Dirty Dave pouring on the pressure. When he gets a rock on you and a knockdown, he will maximize that to win the round. Now a side control, which is truly terrifying, Humble. 2 denials and the crucifix. Blackout in a terrible spot.
I'm happy to say that it's over now. And if we're speaking about a minute in the future. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I don't think that was intentional, bro.
If he lose because of that.
Imagine. We've seen Kai lose and other people lose. The comebacks in prime time especially, they happen a lot. So this could be it, and we'll see. Blackout is not letting up at all. He's going for the kill.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like you say, brother, kill or be killed. He only knows one way.
Oh,
And, he gets walked onto another left hand from Marvin Vittori, who's sitting him down maybe for the final time.
Survives.
It's not over yet.
30 seconds to hang on. Wow. I didn't expect him to get that. Maybe he didn't want to get it. I'm banking on it.
Yeah.
If he had a submission right now.
Ripe MMA says in the chat that before this fight, Dave was saying in the chat that he's going to smash your boy B3, and so far he is having a lot of success, but you know as well as I do there, Jay, that you cannot count Blackout out. As you've seen, any opportunity he gets, he will pour on the pressure, he will force you into positions where you can make mistakes, and only takes one when you have the killer instinct of the B3 faithful.
Yeah, that's the B3 style. It's not over. You still have a chance, and they throw them long combos,
Nice setup.
But
it may be over now.
It
may actually be. Yeah, this is.
When J Dime says that it's not over, it's over.
It's definitely over. Oh my gosh.
It's a fact that J Dime. When you say it's over, it's never over.
Yeah, I got to stop talking. It's my fault. It's not your fault. It's me.
That's a good win. But Dirty Dave gets it done. And he gets it done in a very, very classic way. Dirty Dave way, essentially, Cyrus. He waited, picked his spots, used his ground and pound, used the grappling to his advantage. When he did get his opponent hurt, he mixed it up, used the mixed martial arts aspect, and gets the finish later in the fight.
Let's be real right here as well. Dirty Dave, right? He has now 12-4 record after this. And some people would look at that and understand that's a stellar record under Primetime MMA. No fights are easy, and obviously he had to earn every single one of those. But honestly, it's even more impressive when you consider that he was in the Grand Prix. He had success in that Grand Prix. All he has fought is top-level competition every single step of the way. And, for a man that's kind of deep into this game right now, been competing for a long time, he continues to evolve his game and excel. And ultimately, I think that that's what champions are made of. The names like Trixie, Naz, the current champion Caliber, and the likes, all former kind of opponents, of Dirty Dave. You know that he has seen the who's who in this cage and believes that he has all of the tools to get the job done. He proves it once again here this evening and earns himself an opportunity at fighting either KM Caliber or EK Capalot in the next event, potentially, or hopefully next week out. We'll see that belt defended. But Dirty Dave definitely back on the rise here, Humble, and that's a big win for him.
Oh, huge win. Puts him right up there. Him and Trixie are kind of neck and neck right now to see who might be getting the next title shot. Maybe, I don't know if anyone else is coming through, but at the same time, it'll be interesting to see that main event and see what happens tonight. But we do have the core main event in front of us right now, J Diamond, and I am excited for this one. It is B3 Goat versus CV. CV has been on a tear, and we can't not go over it. Last week was a disappointing week because he should have potentially been 4-0 with an easy win, or a big win essentially over a former teammate or a teammate, and that fight didn't go quite as planned for ourselves and him. He did get the win, but at the same time it wasn't kind of recognized as it should have been, and now he's going to have the chance to prove that against Goat, and Goat's changed camp. He's a B3 member now, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, look, as you rightly said, CV was fighting a teammate. The teammate threw the fight and, did so very, very clearly. The first time we've ever had something like that in over 4 years, and hopefully the last. But, of course, he got the W via disqualification, so finds himself at 4-0 right now. This man turned up, he was ready, he was game to fight, and he was looking to bring all of the action, so not fair to punish him for others' mistakes. But like you said, he gets the opportunity, because he would have probably been fighting Vuk this week if he had beat him normally.
Exactly.
It was #1 contender matchup, so it unfortunately put him in a spot where he now has to take on one of the most dangerous fights in the PlayStation division, especially under the new foundations of B3, and that is I Am GOAT. This man, is a fucking terror on that PlayStation side, man. People, honestly, people sleep on him, Jay. I'll throw it back to you, bro. People sleep on GOAT. I don't know why.
Yeah, he gives anybody problem, whether you're elite or not. He's just one of those fights where he's always in it, and he has traits of a great fighter, and he came close to the title before too.
Yeah.
And he wants to get back there, so he's going to try to derail what they call this hype train in CV.
Bro,
Exactly that.
He's been gunning for it, Humble. Sorry, bro, but GOAT's been gunning for it. He's been calling out day after day for that title shot. He wants it, bro. He wants that shot bad.
Yeah, he's an active competitor amongst that top division as well. Like amongst everyone he plays against, people, he fancies himself essentially as a title holder, and he wants to be a champion. So he talks it in a belief because he believes himself. But it looks like we're getting Fiziev versus Islam. I like this one, Jordan.
We have, sorry to interrupt, we have got predictions for this fight. 30 seconds. Sorry they have not been there tonight. We are a little short staffed, but get them in, guys, because this is the co-main event, and that's the time to make your money, Jake.
This is already dangerous because Islam has that 100 top control. I don't even grapple, and I used Islam. I'm like, dang, you could just hold people in side control with him like that? No, it's really crazy.
Jesus Christ, 70,000 being bet on this fight so far.
Oh,
people been saving up all those all those prime coins,
Jesus
brother.
Christ, 70,000.
Is he hold on? I don't think this is a smart choice. Is he grappling Islam?
Fizev's been working out. Bro, he does the Matrix on the feet. You've seen him pull that kick, right? He apparently has some like Jedi mind tricks on the ground as well, and believes that he can get the submission over Islam, which is a. I mean, why is he fighting here, bro? Seriously, why? You need to get up if you Fizev, right? But I mean, with that being said,
his dominance.
Well, with that being said, though, right? You guys told me this. Isn't he like top ranked on the PlayStation division every time, like number 3?
I see he's like number 3 in the rankings or something right now. So he's like right now. If you go check the world rankings, he'll be number 3 or 4. Or higher. I haven't checked in a week or so, but yeah, I know he was, and he has been throughout the season.
Playing UFC.
Yeah, he is like one of the best guys in the world in consistent division, and to understand to be in that position, you've got to understand everything from the cheese to some things that we don't allow to kind of playing in a setting like this against the top players, because you're gonna have to play them a lot, essentially.
Yeah, honestly, as well. I mean, there's a lot of support coming out these days for CV. I see people in the chat saying, this man has no weaknesses, and he's not shown any in the cage so far. I mean, like I said, this is the gameless test that he's had so far under his run in the Primetime MMA, 4-0, potentially 5-0 if he can get past Goat this evening. But I'm already kind of liking what I'm seeing in the adjustments to Goat striking, although he does eat a big wheel kick right there. So, keep those hands up, right? Keep those hands up.
Yeah, well, he's grappling again, but I'm really terrified of Islam's grappling. I told you, like, his grappling's really god tier, and his striking, because he has the 94 punch speed, 94 punch power, and he has fast hands.
Yeah, he's quick, man. He got a massive buff. He sees his boy. He seems the ratings guy, apparently, so he's his boy. But I'm really liking what CV's doing right now by kicking the leg. Because it sets up the head kick, Osiris, but he beat me to it, and then it's also setting up a few other shots. But he's starting to get loose. The leg kick is the main issue at the moment, which Goat has not dealt with, and that's going to become a problem very quickly.
Yeah, exactly right. He needs to either exchange with big combinations or start to check that thing, because the right leg is going to be mincemeat anytime soon. I have to say, though, as we go at the end of that first round, J-Dime, Mr. Humbledink, we have the lineal champion in the chat watching this fight very, very eagerly. He wants to see who is fighting for his former belt, and as you can see, these guys are going for it, Jay.
That's a mistake, going for that, and now you're where I'm the GOAT wants to be.
You are, and he's going to go for the arm triangle right now. It's kind of risk-free, doesn't really... I don't quite know, but...
It's like he got denied whilst it was being cinched in.
potentially. Maybe there's a bug, I don't know, but the out triangle's usually risk free, but he gets a good denial right there. CV stops him from going through, and now he's going to try and get the get up, gets a denial as well. And this is a key moment. This is the mount. Key moment, Jadon.
Very key moment. This is where Islam wants to be now. Oh. That's where that 100 top control comes into play. Right here.
Gets another chance to do some more damage. CV moved his head, gets a block on that, and then gets nice clever work from there, getting the transition during the top mount and during the stamina, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's Goat is a tricky opponent on the mat, but right now CV doing all the right things, and god damn, he is.
Oh my god.
He's putting Goat in a bad spot. I mean, that's got to be a little bit concerning if you go right. I mean, that was a quadruple denial from him, back to back to back.
Yeah, he just denied every.
Nice work from CV. Moves with the roll there, keeps the side control, gets the half guard now, and Islam's going to try to obviously get back to guard, which he does. Dangerous position now for CV because
I would get up.
Yeah, he's got 3 transitions down, but that was an obvious choice. Gets a denial on that, and this is a technical masterclass of a war on the ground from Goat and CV.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness! He made an adjustment there. He stopped going up because Goat waiting for that up.
Yeah. Goat hit the switch and he gets it.
Oh wow! A lot of people don't understand this.
I know, bro. It's mad, isn't it? So this is a function that comes across from UFC 3. Funnily enough, you hit the full guard. It means that you have to pre-deny, or if you're on top, to stop the other. But as you can see, he doesn't even go for it there. He gets the GA from the bunny shots. CV genuinely an absolute dog on this game, bro. He's game everywhere.
Oh. Yes. And he doesn't have a grappler either. He has Fiziev, and he's.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow! How did he extend to get hold of that? Nice work. And I'm just liking what CV's doing, but I'm also going is kind of took away the threat of the leg kick, right? Yeah. Because that was the biggest problem and the biggest distance in that round. The first round was the leg kick, which was going to cause more problems. So by grappling and having them exchanges for whatever it was, he's evened out the fight. I don't know who's won this round, essentially.
Yeah.
I have to see the stats after this.
Some good checks from Good. The one thing I will say that right now, Fiziev, CV is doing a really good job on the exchanges, right? So when they break from the clinch or they break from grappling situations, he does go to the leg kick quite heavily, and I feel like it's got him a lot of success. But in between the recognition from Goat of those leg kicks mean that he's checking a lot of the ones that are set up behind combinations. I feel like it's an interesting. Never fucking mind.
Oh my god, drops him over the straight, gets him going back to the fence, J-Time, goes to the fish, uppercut to the body, full elbow, and CV avoided getting dropped there. What a fight this is.
Bro!
What a fight this is. This is going to be fight of the night so far. Third round of absolute masterclass. Grappling, striking, transitions in between. And we're getting a brilliant fight. Both of these guys want it so bad, so you can tell right now, and they're fighting out their skins.
Yeah, exactly right. Goat, my god, brother, he is staying committed to that. Fiziev's takedown defense on another planet right now. Combinations up against the cage. I don't know how much more the chin can stand, but he keeps firing back, Jay, with reckless abandon, trying to get big damage of his own.
Ooh, yeah, and Goat is looking for a counter. He's pulling a lot. He's looking for that counter.
Oh my god, he doesn't get the knockout. Goes for the ground and pound. And this could be a Goat of MMA. It's hanging on. No, he's not.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's done.
This kid is good.
Wow, CV is brilliant, man. CV is brilliant. CV is technically gifted, I'm telling you now.
Look, CV may be the truth. He may just be the truth, bro. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. CV, the truth. He is a menace. He is wrecking through that division. 5-0, challenging for the next PlayStation Championships. I hope it will be our main event next week out. Him against NBK Vok. My goodness, what a co-main event.
That's going to be a good fucking fight, isn't it? That's going to be a good fight. Book versus CV. Jesus.
Yes.
5-0. Undefeated as well. And you got Smudger calling him out in the chat, by the way, as well. Smudger, the former champion who's undefeated for a long time. One of the greatest PlayStation. He's the greatest PlayStation champion of all time.
He may be able to bring Smudger out of retirement.
Damn. Well, he hasn't won the belt yet, J-Time. He needs to go and beat, he needs to go and beat Vuk, and Vuk is a dangerous competitor. Look what he did last week to Kai. That's gonna be a great fight. That's gonna be fantastic. That's gonna be exciting, Siren.
Honestly, Vuk might have, genuinely for me, right, Vuk might have the best storyline of any fighter that we've ever had because of that award, right? Well, Humble, you know, man, me and you and Doc and a couple of other people spent, a good amount of time going through clips, putting them through to, for people to review and everything like that. And we troll through hours and hours and hours of content because we put on a lot of events last season, brother. A lot of fights, over 1,500 fights. So we had to go through that thing with a fine-tooth comb, and that guy was by far the most improved competitor from the previous season to this one. And like we said before this event, he went from being the most improved fighter of last year to winning the belt within 31 days of the new year. The story is sensational. And if he can get it done against CV, then I think that, look, he is right.
That's a tough competitor.
Yeah,
that's a tough competitor that you've got. That's a like, I don't know, the same. I don't know, CV's because of the way he's ranked and stuff. You've got Ed Parker calling him out in the chat, a few of the guys calling him out. Like, he gets the recognition because of his technique as well. He was disappointed last week. The main reason he was disappointed because he wanted to perform like that for people. So it was, and it's understandable when he's got such a fucking skill set, because that was beautiful to watch. Even the grappling was fun. Who makes grappling fun?
But look,
Jesus.
I got one last thing to say about this before we move on to our main event, and that's that we actually have the champ himself on the PlayStation side of things. Vuk Gaming in the chat, respect the CV, belt on the line, pound for pound on the line. Let's make it happen. I'm telling you, brother, this is gonna be the most and if you think that the levels in primetime are being stepped up, you watch this space. We are only getting started. You want to get get involved with all of the craziness that we have involved. The Discord link will be linked lots of ways, whether you compete or want to help out in the production side. These events, man, truly, they are fantastic. They're the highlights of the weekend by a country yard. And with that being said, J-Dime, Mr. Humbleding, it is the moment we have all been waiting for. It is the one and only KM Caliber, the Xbox champion, two-time Xbox champion this season, going up against the unstoppable force that is EK Capalot. The technique that these guys have on display, the highlights that they have to their resume. I'll throw it to you, Humble. I mean, top flight doesn't quite cut it when you're mentioning these two competitors.
Yeah, when we went through all of the fights between these two, they've had a journey, both of them. Caliber, obviously fighting. They've both fought the likes of Trixie, Dirty Dave, now all these guys to get where they are. And that just tells you the level of competition, because you've seen it all night tonight. You've seen the skill and the technique from all of the guys that they've fought, and that has put them in this spot. Capalot chose John Jones on purpose, chose light heavyweight on purpose, just to kind of get in his head. Are the mind games going to work? J-Dime, is Caliber going to succumb to that? And has Capalot earned his shot? And is he going to become a champion from it?
Bro, I'm so excited for this fight right now. Like, I really want them to hurry up, start the match. I'm ready for this fight right here. We got the fight that we should have got. Remember after Jan won the belt, he called out John Jones? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And John Jones was like, he put his arms out. Like, that's crazy. Look, we can finally get the fight.
I will tell you one thing right now, right? Both the Xbox and the PlayStation division, since Smudger has left on the PlayStation side of things, it's kind of become light heavyweight since John Jones has left, right? These guys are all fighting kind of for that belt. It's interchanging every couple of weeks. Can KM Caliber start to make a new run and start the dawn of a new era against all the odds here this evening? Or Capalot, like I said, get it back for the Elite Kingsman. Honestly, brother, it's this is an exciting one, bro.
It definitely is, and Caliber's looking to kind of cement himself in the places of people like Trixie, who held the title for a long period of time before losing to Dirty Dave's done it a few times as well. Caliber's been a champion before. I don't think he's held it for too long, and then that's going to be where he's wanting to do it, and tonight is where it starts.
Yeah, for sure. Well, on that
Nice.
note, guys, we have 30 seconds on the voting left. Make sure to get it in. These guys, bro, I don't think it's going to go too long. They've got so many finishes on their resume, Jay, and this one is a heavier weight class. These guys hit harder and often get the finish in those opening couple of rounds.
Yeah, and I'm just glad we got this fight because I wanted to see this John Jones, Jan Blachowicz fight. I thought it was going to happen in light heavyweight, but it couldn't happen. Now we got our wish.
Well, we've got one of the competitors that had a stand-up performance on the early prelims, Ed Parker, in the chat saying he's bet his entire house and life saving on KM Caliber. So this man has a lot of confidence in the Kingsman.
By the way he's moving there, that beautiful work from Capalot. The way he's moving John Jones, he was trying to set up different types of shots. And Caliber is a fantastic competitor. He comes with different arsenal. He's got beautiful switches to the body, essentially, Jadan, where he attacks the body weight for response, gets off the center line, and then attacks the body and head. Similar to the Ed Parker and the guys who kind of do that, and he's fantastic at it. So he's going to punish it, but he's got to watch out for his kicks to the body as well. Dangerous with those.
Humble. I'm hearing that you're turning into James Krause right now. You're swaying the betting lines. That's what I've been hearing.
What are you talking about? I don't know what these guys are talking about, honestly. just participating,
Yeah, of course you are, bro. Of course you are. He's actually paid the ref off and everything. So if you start seeing Capalot start to put his finger in the gloves of Caliber when they get into the grappling exchanges and the ref not do anything about it, it might have been our very own Paul Krause over here. Mr. Humble.
Nice knee to the head right there. And the Caliber's looking, if you look at the damage so far, body and leg, the left leg of Capalot is not looking great. And he's not landed consistent shots. And Jan is essentially J Diamond. He's just chipping away.
Yeah, Caliber's looking good right now, too. Oh, and I think it's the experience level, too, because Capalot is 6-0 against him, but it's different when the bright lights are on you.
It is, sir. Yes, it is. Those bright lights, they add so much pressure, and of course, pressure makes diamonds who can rise to the occasion. Here this evening, Capalot and Caliber, both guys that are, I suppose, conditioned to the bright lights right now. They are main card fighters and have been for quite a long time. Like I said, Caliber, has the belt right now. He has the belt in the past. I think this is Capalot's maybe first time challenging for a belt. Humble. I don't know if
that's correct. Yeah, that is exactly what we were talking about. If you remember correctly, during the promo, he knocked out Dirty Dave to get an opportunity at #1 contender spot, which was against Driz last week, and Driz never turned up, so Capalot automatically got that spot, but at the same time he earned it all step of the way by knocking out Dave. Seen what that guy did tonight, and it was a beautiful knockout. So gets his title shot, and he deserves it. It's one of those things, isn't it, where he's got it now. Can he kind of deal with it? Is the pressure too much? And Caliber's shown his veteran savvy so far for me, J-Dan.
Yeah, and it's just what John Jones' debut on heavyweight gonna look like. Is he gonna look like this guy? Because he look a little rusty, and he's not fighting bad. He's gonna get the cobwebs off a little bit, though.
No, sure. The thing about John Jones on this game especially, I feel like you need single shot, high variance, need to maintain the range, uses oblique kicks, and, even mix in the grappling, and Caliber knows that better than anybody. He is one of the most, kind of high fight IQ fighters on UFC 4 and has some of the cleanest inputs, but you can see that the respect for Capalot is there as he tries to approach this with some teeps, and, he's fighting kind of a little bit more reserved than I feel like he ordinarily does.
That's now John Jones grappling. I didn't know Jan had it in him, but he may have just motivated John Jones to grapple.
He's getting pieced everywhere. Like he needs to get off that fence.
He gotta get off the fence.
Yeah, he's kind of taking too much right there. Gets the trip though. We'll see what he can do now. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to work. He needs to make this count.
Couple of elbows first, and now this side control has been a dangerous position for each and every competitor stepping into the cage here this evening. Quite clearly, competitors have rounded out this position and really got to grips with the intricacies of it. Obviously, the timing on it is impeccable, but he is able to get out of it after some tough moments and still finds himself in a relatively bad position with, obviously a dominant force in John Jones on top of you.
Nice.
That's real bad.
Needs to do something, Jay. Needs to do something to kind of win this round or have a statement on it.
Yeah, he has to win this round clearly. Because if it's close, they may give it to Jan because Jan's been winning this fight.
Sure.
Oh.
Nice work. Moves the position, tries to put himself in a position for better ground and pound, but actually allows Jan an opportunity to get back to the feet. Can he get the separation, or is the mat return inevitable?
Oh.
Nice defense from
work.
Capalot.
Beautiful work right there. Goes for the box again. He clearly feels comfortable, Caliber on the feet with Jan, and Capalot not quite finding the mark. But during that grappling exchange, you could see Caliber's defense had to be tip top, and it was tip top. Jay Dime, he did really well in there to get back to the feet. He's in his wheelhouse right now. He's where he wants to be, and you can see him taking his time. Nice patient shots, trying to break down John Jones one punch at a time.
Yeah, and he's draining John Jones' stamina slowly, and I don't know how that round goes because you got the ground control versus.
Yeah, I always go with 6 strikes. That's where I quite honestly, I always go with significant strikes, but there was a lot of top control, 2 minutes, right? As it's under half the round, I probably would err towards the champ in that one, but you never know. Maybe honestly, I don't expect the judges to be needed though. They've been needed once tonight, and maybe 3 times the entire season. So like it's it's on some craziness. But as you can see, Capalot is pressing the action early in this 3rd round. Looks to try and pour on the pressure on Blackout and maybe start to tax him with some big rocks, but it's going to be hard. That Polish power is a real thing, Humble.
Yeah, it's a real thing, and it's he's got really. It's also the body type. Jay Dime, the way that Jan strikes is a lot faster, a lot more quick than the John Jones, because John Jones has to kind of push his punches and fire them in a certain way, and he's really utilizing that caliber at the moment. He's got to be careful. He's avoided all the cheese. That's one thing I've noticed. He's not really been hit with any cheese in this fight.
Yeah, but it's the crazy thing. Y'all was talking about the Polish power. I'm talking about the lack of power in John Jones' hands. His punching speed and power is both.
Oh, the body. Oh, he drops him.
Oh my God.
Oh, the body kick takes the top mount.
Brother Caliber's looking good. He's looking real good. Jan is a good pick for him, and he's doing the damn thing here this evening. Jay Dime finds himself in half guard once again. 3 minutes left on the clock in this round, and I mean, obviously we've seen Caliber in the past dominating these ground positions, but he gets reversed. God.
He needs to do something. He needs to make it clear this round because he's already getting dominated, and you don't want to fall behind to the point where you need a knockout with John Jones.
Nice work. Goes for the submission though. Tries to, these submissions, people don't realize, you got to build them up. It doesn't really do it though. Tries to even win the round essentially. I'm wondering what Capalot is thinking right now, Cyrus. I'm trying to think in his head and think what sort of way do you try to win this fight? Where do you go with it? Not like this at the moment because he's getting sort of at will.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like, even though he'll probably catch some flack for it, if he's able to get back to the feet, start to utilize some John Jones knees when Jan is closing the distance, you need to have him at the end of your range at all times. That lead body roundhouse has been money for him, but obviously these things are all easier said than done, Jay, especially with somebody like Caliber behind the sticks. I mean, this guy genuinely is a prodigy from the KM camp. He's one of their first initial members, and he's probably the most notable member from KM as a whole. He's had a very storied and very, very successful run across multiple promotions. You can see why, man. Look at it. He's terrifying in all positions.
Yeah, and I've never seen John Jones get dominated on the ground like this. This is new to me.
I've got to point out as well, Caliber essentially fought Concept last week, which was another fight that was supposed to be very even, very close, and he made it one-sided. He made it look very simple, very easy for himself, in an educated performance with a finish at the end of it as well. And what he's doing right now against such a formidable opponent, essentially a guy who's risen through, beat some of the best competitors, caused problems for everyone, hasn't really caused any problems for Caliber. Caliber is essentially leveling up, Cyrus. This is another world performance. If he does this to somebody else in the next couple of fights, we could be looking at one of the best Xbox competitors of all time, because I haven't seen him do this against a lot of people, but the way he's performing, the way he's controlling these guys is impressive.
Yeah, his recent performances have shown some elevation in his style, but he gets clipped with the right hand of John Jones. Then the hip cross defended, but Jan is not out of the woods yet. That rock is only just recovered, Jay.
Stop giving people compliments, please. You know what's crazy? He got greedy when he threw the jab, slip, hook. He tried to throw a head kick right after, and that's when he got caught.
No, man, yeah, it's most people predicted this round to be the finish round as well. So even with Capalot trying to capitalize on the shot there, it shows he's still dangerous in the fight. His body health is terrible low. His head health is not far between, and Caliber is starting to pick his shots again. The body's coming, fix it.
That was wicked.
Damn. What the hell, man?
Oh, Jan will beat that dead horse if he needs to, brother. It doesn't matter if he ain't moving. He will continue to punch away. You'll need police to pull him off that body, I'm telling you. It's, once again, Caliber gets the job done in what was a sensational performance in a match that, you know, obviously he wasn't even too happy about this weight class. You know, he voiced those issues instantly. But all things considered, and still, KM Caliber, you said it, Humble. This guy, one of the best runs that we've seen in a while. He's putting it all together right now.
Oh man, if he can do this against a few more competitors, this might be, like I said, and this could be a mythical creature Caliber. You know, this is a Caliber that I've not seen before. He's took his level up to a different level. He's not allowing his opponents to have an opportunity during the fight, in title fights, to get into the fight, and he's looking unstoppable at the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing who's fighting him next. I don't know who it's going to be, but Caliber is the man in the Xbox division. You've got to be looking out for. You've got to be looking at study footage of him, because you don't want to be on the end of that beating, J-Time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Whew.
What an event! What an event!
I'm tired already.
What an event, man! One decision. One decision. Is that right?
Hey, yeah, Reaper got to fight me for that. Listen to me, bro. Just a great card, guys. Just
another one. Another great card.
Another one.
Well, lads, with that emotional high at the end, and of course the emotional roller coaster throughout the entirety of PT85, from myself, Cyrus, the Looney, all the guys in the back at Primetime MMA that make this available, make this possible even, of course, J-Dime, Mr. Humbledink, we will see you in the next one. Make sure to follow J-Dime TV on Twitch and Mr. Humbledink. These guys are going to be streaming Undisputed, UFC 4, and many other top titles Monday to Friday and throughout whenever they can. We will be now pushing some love forward into the community. Going to raid somebody on UFC 4, so make sure to stick about for that. Join up, make somebody's night as we go into another night of sensational fights. The UFC this evening, and it is going to be madness. We appreciate all of the support, the follows, the subs, the bitties, and most importantly, you guys turning up each and every event and showing up and showing out. Until the next one, much love, peace out, and stay safe.